What's the deal, my people? You know what it is. It's the Don Tony Teflon, and I am back at you with another from video. I am here rocking with you. We're going to talk about season 5, season 4 in the books. Seen it all, seen everything we had to see. Got some good moments, got some all right moments, but in the end, I thought the season was decent as a whole. Some things, wasn't feeling too much, but overall, I liked the majority of it. So I thought it was a very successful season. Got a lot of stuff up in there done. And we're going to talk about some of that, but mostly we're going to focus on what we need to see in season 5, because that's what we're on. And I know that there's been a lot of people, I keep hearing like people saying that, oh, we're going to have to wait 2 years for this to come out. That's not true. They're shooting this motherfucker. I think next week they start shooting. I talked to several of the cast members myself, and they told me that they were flying out to Halifax like next week, this week and stuff, and next week. So they're all going to be out there. They're not just getting out there to have a party. They're getting out there to start filming. So I don't think there should be any problem with them, us suspecting and knowing that this is going to go down, that by the same time next year, we should have the final season. And I know it's going to be very bittersweet for a lot of those cast members, because this is the last time they're going to work with each other, most likely in this capacity, at least on this show. Maybe later on they'll be able to work on something else, but this is going to be it. And also a lot of these people right here, you know what I mean? You got to be honest about the whole situation, right? Some of these artists that are in these roles, this is the biggest roles they'll ever get for the rest of their lives. And that's just the nature of the business that they're in. And that's just facts. I mean, you can go to a million different television shows that were hit shows, really big hit shows. And you could see exactly how many people actually came out of those shows and became huge stars out of it. A lot of times that was it. I mean, if you look at Cheers, you had Cliff, you had Norm, you had all these guys that were good, but who broke out of Cheers? Sam Malone, you had him, Ten Dancing, and Frasier, but the rest of the cast didn't really break out. That was their big role, was Cheers. You can go through them all. I can name 1,000 shows. You can go to Friends, who broke out outside of Friends. You say Courtney Cox got a little love after that. Jennifer Aniston got some love after that. Joey, they gave something to, didn't work. Everybody else, Ross and all of them, nothing. Done deal, over. That was the biggest show of their life. Go to Seinfeld, same thing. Who broke out of that? Louise Dreyfus was the star out of that. Everybody else ain't really got nothing going on. So that's why this is going to be a very special season for them, and the last season for them, because this could be it for a lot of them. You know what I mean? We'll see them at conventions, hopefully, and stuff like that. And yes, Woody Harrelson too. I'm sorry, I forgot about that. Woody Harrelson did definitely break out. You are correct. But we'll see them at conventions, hoping we'll always remind them how much they meant to us and how much and everything else that we love them and all that stuff. But yeah, so we got to give it up for them. You got to give it up for them in this season and everything else. Did you notice anything that you didn't notice prior to rewatching at the end of this season? I haven't really rewatched this whole season over again, but it's hard, and you have to look at it like this, and they're the ones who made it like this, so that's why we got to see it. The whole Clara thing, there's nothing for Clara. Like, they said they came up with that this season. They didn't drop any breadcrumbs. They didn't do anything with Clara to do this. They needed a person to be this person, and they liked that actress. This is what they said. They liked that actress, so they gave her the role. So there's no breadcrumbs. Anything that you look back on and you say, Clara was here, Clara was there. That's all just coincidental stuff. There was no planning in that. And there's a lot of times things in shows happen like that. They come out like that, and you look back and you see stuff, but in the end, there's nothing. There was nothing. And if anyone tries to say, Clara, they said it. They came up with it this year. There's no breadcrumbs for it. They came up with the idea this year, and that was it. It was just, she was the actress they picked to do the part. Just like they picked Smile Monster, they could have picked anybody else in there. And they said the same thing about the actress who played Patty, that they liked her. They thought that she was a talent, so they gave her some extra lines. And that's why we got extra lines for Patty. They just picked her They said they thought she was a good talent, and that's why they used her. It's really that system. That it's really that easy and stuff, right? So when you say, look back at things, do I see things? It's not a lot of things to see because we just don't know if they really are following a roadmap where they're leaving these crumbs like that, or they're just going and they're going with the flow and they're very fluid with the show. And if something feels good to them, they go with it. And that's the problem with things like that. You know what I mean? And that's the way they're running it. Nothing I could do about that, but I'll still make up theories anyway, and we'll still see if we can come up with stuff. But in the end, I think most of it will end up like that and everything else and all that good stuff. But we're going to give some shout outs to you people that are up here rocking with the Don Tony Tef. I really appreciate you coming out here. You could be anywhere in the world, but you are here with me. And I appreciate it. After the season is over. You know what I mean? And that's what I appreciate. All right, we got Nova in the building. I'm gonna keep doing my thing. You know what I mean? Jordan is up in here right now, chilling and stuff like that. I'm not sliding nowhere, man. All right. You keep your eyes to yourself, Jordan. All right. Winter is in the building, rocking with you right now, chilling with the Don Tony Teflon. We got 214 Beans in the building, rocking with us. TCP in the building, rocking with us right now. I can go up and we got RJ is in the building. Our brother TNX is always is in here rocking with us. Orlando is up in here rocking with us. Vex is up in here rocking with us. And he said, literally just had my baby a few hours ago. LOL. This is a great distraction for me right now. Now, I don't know if you're saying you gave birth to the baby physically or you're the man who gave birth. But either way, if you are the woman, that means a little bit more because really you just push that baby out and you're rocking with us. And congratulations and thank you for rocking with us. We really appreciate you and stuff. And I hope the baby is healthy and I'm sure it's beautiful. And I'm so happy for you and I'm so happy for everyone in your family. And stuff that's the best thing I've heard all day, and that's no doubt about it. So thank you for sharing that with us. I really appreciate that. Mr. Day is up in this piece rocking with us right now. We got Nini is up in here. Jennifer is in the building and everything rocking with us right now. 3 Commas is in here rocking with us. Gino is in here rocking with us. Michelle is in the building rocking with us and all that. Listen, man, I appreciate you. Y'all want me to turn you want me to turn on my my phone line so you can call me up, I will definitely do that and everything else and all that good. We got Xander in the building rocking with us right now. Xander, to be determined. TBD, Xander. Oh, this is dude from that Nerdy as Fuck show. That's I knew the name and stuff. He was supposed to come on a couple of days ago. We had it set up, but he had some issues with his flight and everything else, his whole team and stuff and all that. But we definitely get him on and stuff. I'll put the link. This is what we'll do. This is what we'll do. All right. I don't do it like this all the time. I don't do it like this. I don't really do it. Not really my thing. Like, I'd rather have things out there. But we'll put the link in the description right here. And we'll if a couple of people want to come on, we'll let people come on. But not crazy people. And it may boot you off if you get too crazy. Like, certain things you can't be. Right? You can't come on rocking with the Don. If you're a man, I don't want no glossy lips. Like, your lips can't be too glossy. All right? I don't want no glossy lips up over here rocking with the Don. Can't have that. All right? Certain things got to be. It's got to be right. You know what I mean? And so if you come here rocking with the Don, make sure you come correct. Don't come on here. You know what I mean? Acting all crazy and stuff with your glossy ass lips and stuff. I can't have that. All right? No glossiness on those lips. Just keep your lips nice and monotone and everything else. All right? But it's in case. You know what I mean? Next time, yeah, no Diddy. You can't be oiled up. All right? It's not Diddy time. It's not Diddy time on here. All right? You can't have that. I can't have that shit. All right. Let's get into it. We put the link in the chat. People want to pop on. They have the opportunity to pop on and stuff like that. Make sure you hit that thumbs up for your boy. Number one place number one show for the fans, by the fans. You know who it is. It's the Don Tony. Just like gloss lips so random. I am random though. You know I'm random. I'm as random as it gets. That's just the way it goes. All right, let's talk about next season. Things we need to see. Well, I'll break it down by character, and we'll go through that. All right, let's start with Sarah right off the bat. I think that Sarah is Eloise. I've told you she was Eloise for a very long time. The showrunners told you that Eloise is dead. They said that on Reddit. That's fine. She's dead. It's Sarah. It will be confirmed next season. That's what I believe. And remember, the Don told you. They didn't just tell you this year, last year. That told you this right after they introduced Eloise. I said this. So it's going to be Sarah. So in the end, and if you ask me why do I say that, listen, Father Khatri has already said that Sarah, you're somehow uniquely connected to this place. They said specifically that the people that were talking to her, that they were waiting for her to talk to specifically. There are two sets of people that are in there. It's not just the man in yellow that's talking to her. It's someone else that's talking to her. You always got to keep that in mind that there's something else going on here. She's connected to the place. How is she connected to the place? The only people that we know that are connected to the place is Jade, and Tabitha, and someone who is related to them would be connected to the place. That's it. So that's why she's connected to this place. That's what it's going to be in the end. I'm not going to go into the whole Victor picked her to go in the tent and do all that other stuff. Yes, they did all that. There's a reason why they did that. It's going to be her. Never seen Tabitha hug Sarah, right? Let Tabitha hug her. She'll get the flashback. She'll know what's up. Guaranteed. And they might do that and everything else. All right. Besides that, what do we need to see from Sarah? What I need to see from Sarah, then we'll ask you. I need Sarah to go back to being Sarah. Like, listen, I understand. Listen, she heard the sound, told everybody, shut the fuck up, listen, and heard them beeping. That's fine. That's good. We also seen her give Boyd the same encouragement when Boyd wanted to shut it down, right? That's fine. Cool with that part for Sarah, but it needs to be more. I need more from Sarah. I need more voices talking to her. I need the real voices talking to her. I need her figuring things out on that level. That's what I need from Sarah. I need Sarah to get everything together, and that's what I need. I need more of that stuff from Sarah. It's just not enough for her just to be there. I don't care if she's stabbing people, killing people. She needs to get back to doing what Sarah does. And you know what I mean? And that's the way it is and stuff. 214 Beans is saying, Tony, can we rewatch the first season together? Sarah may have made a deal like Clara. Maybe she did. I know that now that there are deals, and and the man in yellow is Monty Hall, right? The man in yellow is Monty Hall. Now that we know that he is very much Monty, that he has given deals, and he's willing to offer deals because he offered Elgin a deal, so we know he's giving deals out. All right, he's giving out deals. Maybe he gave one to Sarah. I don't know if it's Sarah, because I think that when you had the manipulation that was getting on to Sarah, like the voices told Sarah straight up, go outside, you're going to see the RV pull up. And she went outside and the RV was there. They're going to put, and I want them to explain exactly. There's a lot of things I need explaining, right? That doesn't explain just from what we've seen. Like to kill the boy on the arm, that exorcist type shit. We didn't get no explanation how they did that. How they do that? I need to know how they were physically able to affect her body like that. We didn't see her drink no blood or do anything like that while she was there. We didn't see any of this. But yet one of the first scenes we see is the kill the boy on her arm. Very exorcist-like. And I know if people want to say, supernatural or thing like that, and you would want to go to the Exorcist, that would be a way. But in the Exodus, she was inside of the body that Pazuzu possessed. And she wrote that on her stomach from the inside while Pazuzu possessed her. We haven't seen any Pazuzu up in this place. There was no Pazuzu. So we don't know, and it doesn't seem like there's someone else trapped inside of Sarah's body to do that, right? That took two people to do that. That took the regular person, and it took Pazuzu, all right? And that was a regular person trying to get help out of that whole situation and everything else. Oh, Allison Z's, thank you so much. She says, love you, Tony. Thanks for the amazing content this season. Your videos killed. I may call in later. Is Phil coming on too? Phil is very fluid when it comes to these streams. He might pop on, he might be in the chat and everything else, and he might pop on. And it's quite possible that he will pop on. If he does, then we'll use his phone system. And if he doesn't, then I will turn my phone system on and everything else. Taryn Matthew, I put the link in the chat. You are welcome to join if you want. He's saying, I guarantee will be a big explosion in season 5. That's pretty random. That's pretty there, Taryn. Big explosion. We got to do better than that. But you have to give me more detail. But I think we need more than just a big explosion. I guarantee there'll be a flood this season. I believe there'll be a flood this whole thing. That's going to take most of the budget, that flood. But I need to know why you think we do see that one house on fire in Victor's drawings, right? That house totally engulfed in flames. That could be from the explosion that Taryn is saying. But would it be, if it's going to be an explosion, they need to blow up Colony House. Got to go. That's what I would think. If there's going to be any type of explosion, you must blow up Colony House. Oh, Taryn is in the building. That was very fast. All right, let's bring Taryn in. Mr. Matthew.
Hey, Tony.
What's
Have
going
you
on, bro?
seen the new Rendezvous website?
I have not seen the new Rendezvous website.
Oh, man. We got to share your screen. You got to go on it straight away. Let me share you the link. There is so much stuff there.
All right.
It is crazy. Now, I have had a theory of mine confirmed on this website. It is about the explosion. I've been talking about a big explosion coming. Okay. Because in the actor interviews, sorry, hang on. Let me find the link first.
Yeah, give me. Yeah, no, you can talk, but you can find me the link, and I don't know where we. Yeah, I mean, just send it to me. I don't know where you want to send it to me on.
I'll do it in the private chat for StreamYard.
Oh, can I take it from the private chat though? I've never tried. I think we'll give it a shot. We'll see if I can and stuff. But yeah, I would like to see it. Rendezvous is definitely the hidden corporation, the umbrella, I'm going to say, for Resident Evil fans. The umbrella people behind this whole thing.
It could be.
I believe. And people are like, thank you so much. We're happy you're streaming. I'm happy to be here. We just got a super chat. I'll take it in a second. I'm just trying to get this website up. Yes, I can pull this website up. All right. So we will share this website right now. And we will break down this website given to us by the great Taryn Matthew. How was the Poland trip?
Oh, yeah, it was good. It made me feel like an old man, though, let me tell you. You know, I was there.
Why is that?
There's these full-grown adults talking to me, and they're like, oh, my God, your books were such a big part of my childhood. You know, I grew up reading the books. I'm like, you know, I remember reading this 10 years ago. I was like, I'm so old.
That's great, brother. You had that much of an impact on people.
Yeah, it was nice. I was silent for an hour. It's really, they love fantasy in Poland. They love it. And they're such lovely people. It's one of my biggest territories, actually. Poland, the Netherlands, for some reason. Anyway, let's check out this website because there are so many clues. They've got images. This is a big project. This is way more than the other ARGs. There's so many tabs, so many pages. There's stuff hidden in the metadata, all sorts.
All right, I can about to pull this up a little bit here so I can see it better. All right, we're looking for CR services, families, businesses, and have trusted us to carry what matters across the street or across the country for longer than any of us can say. Okay, let's see our services real quick. Let's take a look at this.
So I think this went up after season 4 ended, and people have only just noticed because they just updated the old website with this.
Okay. And we are currently accepting new bookings right now.
Not accepting.
Basically,
there's a whole bunch of clues on this website that are basically saying we're in between cycles. We're in between breaks. We're not taking bookings. We're on hiatus. We're on pause. So they're basically saying, here is where we're going to announce stuff about the show and season 5 when the season 5 comes out. So there's even a notice board where like the 5th, like one of the times is missing. And it's like obviously it's gonna fill and dates and it's gonna fill in or something like that.
All right.
Anyway, have a scroll around, have a look. It's there's
It says,
plenty to see.
let's go. It says what we carry and how we carry. 3 divisions, 1 standard care. Each begins the same way. A single
3
consultation.
divisions.
3 divisions.
Could it be an American Fromland, a Canadian Fromland, and a Land of the Dead within the Fromland? That's what, but that's just me riffing.
No, I hear you. I mean, 3 divisions means something.
I mean, there's been so many Canadian clues dropped in season 4. And I think they also say something about this company has no end or something like that, or like we never stop or something like I think that they're suggesting that there will be other From shows, that this is a franchise and that they're gonna be going backwards. And I can tell you something else, man. There is the number 71 and the date 1971 and also 72 for some reason. I don't know why. Are scattered all through this website. So something to do with 1971, in my opinion. Mostly it's 71, so it could be 1871. But they are hinting, but literally in one case they have 1971 fully written out. So, and most of the imagery seems to sort of, not necessarily suggested, but it could be that there's a spin-off prequel that happen. They may go backwards, man. Can you imagine that? Every season we go back further in time and get more information about From.
Well, you could do it like, I mean, how could I say it? I would say like an anthology style show, right? Like House of the Dragon is, right? So House of the Dragon is anthology. It's going to be always called House of the Dragon, but you go deeper in Targaryen history every time you go through it, right? So right now we're at that point where it's a Dance of Dragons, but next season House of the Dragon will be, will be Aegon's conquest, and that's the way they're gonna bounce around, kind of like True Detective, right? That's what True Detective does.
Yeah, and also Welcome to Derry did something similar, with one season, but they jumped across time the whole time. Think about this for a second.
This season, I think they're jumping way back for Welcome to Derry.
The title of this show was designed for franchising from 1871, from 1506. I think they're going to keep going backwards until and they've put plenty of dates on the Lighthouse. That may be like what they have options for. And then depending on the popularity of the spin-offs, if people are like, I'm not going to watch 6 shows to get to the bottom of this, when people run out of stamina, when the answers aren't enough, when people get sick of being edged, basically, they'll jump straight to the origin story. I think this is what I think might happen. Why would they kill the golden goose on a show that was set up for franchising?
So let's look at it. It's the most popular show that Epix ever produced, right? MGM Plus.
Yeah.
They don't have any other show. They've thrown a lot of money at a lot of different shows.
Yeah.
Godfather of Harlem, I would say, is probably is a great show, but I don't think it did the numbers. I mean, it's got 4 seasons. So they did something good. And they canceled it in season 3, but brought it back. They still did a season 4 because they didn't have anything else to put out there. So they put that out there. I guess they're banking on the Institute. To me, I didn't like season 1 of the Institute. Maybe they can get it better. And to me, the reason why I didn't like it, I just don't think the main actor held his weight. I just don't think he was casted right. I don't think he's good for that role. Maybe it was the writing or what was given to him, but from what I seen to him, every time I seen him, he took me out of the show, and that's why the show didn't work to me.
Well, I would say that he's not. His face isn't as expressive, perhaps, as it could be, and there's a lot of subtlety in the role that he's in, and you kind of need someone who can express with their face.
He's not good emoting, you're saying, right? That's
Effectively, yeah. I don't think he emotes very clearly.
Yep.
And I think he had one move that he kept going to, which was like this sort of slightly deranged stare of like, oh my God, what's happening? And that gets old pretty quickly. But to be honest, I think the main problem with the Institute is its timing. Stephen King wrote it many, many years ago. It was kind of the original kids with superpowers get trapped and
Yep.
exploited. But there are, Young Mutants. There was that weird one that no one watched as well. I don't know. There's tons of them, man. But this was kind of the original. So you've seen this, Stranger Things, for example. Like you've seen, Tony, you're a TV watcher, you're a film watcher. I know this. You're a book reader. You've seen this play out many, many times. So unfortunately, it's cursed with having been copied so much that the original is boring because you've seen it. You've seen that show before.
And you have to, and if you're gonna do it the same way a similar show, you need a twist to it. And it seems like you could see everything that was coming. Like, and there was no true twist to it in the end. There was nothing there that you knew the kids were gonna escape. You knew this was gonna happen. They tried
and
to
they were dying. That was the big thing, right? Oh, you find out they're dying, that they're being used up like a resource, and then their bodies are being burned. It wasn't a reveal because it's like, of course they're being exploited in some bad way on the other side. Like it was never, you never see them again. It's you could tell. You knew what was coming. Did you see John Griffin's cameo though?
Was he in it?
Yeah, man, he was the guy loading up the incinerator. He was the incinerator guy. And do you know what's funny? He had one line. Do you know what it was?
What was that?
The word "okay." And do you know why? Because that is the most used word on From, other than I think and a. No, and the.
I know okay. Okay is your thing. I've seen it. I've seen your theories on the okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I thought that was kind of interesting that his line was the word "okay" and nothing else.
Yes, it could be. I'm not going to be the one to tell you it's not. I'm not going to tell you that.
I'm sure you're used to people doing that to you all day long, so you don't want to add to it. add to the vibe.
People saying Institute 7 out of 10. I give Institute a 4. It was terrible. All right, so we got household and family. We could say that's just the regular people getting in there. We have the B is the specialty, and obviously the B is for Boyd, and we got the boat there. And then group and courier, we seen the bus go in there. So we have all three modes of transportation that people use to get in this town that are in there and everything else. So we have that right there and everything.
I suggest you click the specialty and freight one because that's where the most interesting clue is.
All right, let's go.
Opinion.
Let's go.
So we scroll down to the picture.
All right. The awkward, the heavy, the irreplaceable. Boats, vehicles, antiques, and pianos. If it has to arrive in one piece, it travels with us. And we have the boat, which could be considered Boyd's boat, being transported.
Yeah.
Then we have this lady who looks like Abby.
Certainly.
With the boat, and it looks like there's a man in yellow standing there.
Oh yeah, they have various people dressed in yellow suits across like the website. There's probably like 12 pictures.
But that lady definitely looks like Abby.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely done her hair the same way. She's wearing the same hoodie. Yeah.
That's what they're going.
This is made with AI though. This is AI.
But this is they're going for an Abby mold here.
100%. 100%.
You know what I mean? Without a
she wears hoodies. Hoodies are her thing. Even when she sees Boyd as a ghost Abby, she's wearing a white hoodie. So it's 100%.
Yeah,
but that's not where the clue is. It's the next one.
We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep going. And then we go down here to the next one.
This picture.
The last mile is ours. Some destinations have no road access, no marked turn off. Sometimes no address at all. Where another carrier would stop at the nearest depot. Our own vehicles carry the final leg over the rough ground, down the track, all the way in. From the files, what you got from? A sailboat arranged as a gift, final leg by company, vehicle delivered, though the receipt was not present at the address. And then we get what we have here. 45872 is the boat number on this. I I
and
can't.
it says location Dector, not sector, Dector C4. C4, which, as you know, is the symbol for dynamite, isn't it? Or Semtex, whatever it is. What is C4 again?
C4 is the explosion.
Yeah,
Explosion that you put. Claymores use C4.
yeah.
You know?
Oh, it's a common variety of plastic explosive. So,
Yeah.
I believe, as I've been saying for several seasons
What's
now,
it? Dector, the C4.
yeah,
All right. Go
do
ahead. Go
not
ahead.
disturb. Item 1 unit, unclaimed stock. But the C4 is interesting to me because I have noticed that the actors in their interviews use phrases like boom, bang, it's explosive, it's just synonyms for the word explosion. They sometimes they use them to a degree where it's just ridiculous, and it's like they're trying to tell you that there's an explosion next season. But the explosion never comes, man. Every season I predict a huge explosion and it never
Hmm.
comes. And I think it's because it's in season 5, and I think that Sector C4 there is a clue to an explosion.
It could be. It is also, if I'm looking up real quick, right, and I'm just doing this really fast.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
have the C4 blood test. All right, you have that, which obviously we deal with blood in this show a lot, but there is a C4 blood test to measure the level of proteins in your blood, and it helps people with lupus and all that. There's also the C4 workers' compensation that go with it. So I think all three of those fit. I think you have to get some workers' compensation, some workers' comp out here. But also, I think the C4 blood, since we deal with it as a C4 blood test, level manages the level of proteins in your blood, could also be something going on there right now. And C4 is a cervical disc, as Dope C points out there. Yeah, so it could be something like that without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, it definitely means something. They just didn't put that there for it. But obviously the boat is boys. And that's what it is. And that's what there's no doubt that this company, to me, is the umbrella corporation. You have lupus, Nini. I'm sorry to hear that. My boy overdose passed away from that a few years back and stuff. And my other boy, my man Black, passed away from it.
Oh my god, I just solved what 45872 is.
What is it?
It's from Strong's Hebrew, 458s. It's the man in the Book of Ruth who relocated his 4-person household from Bethlehem to Moab during a famine. In Moab, all 3 men died. Only Naomi ever came back, returned with Ruth. This is what it says on the website. A 4-person
Mm-hmm.
household carried on a single sealed manifest delivered as contracted. The client could not be reached again at the destination. So I think that may be it. Potentially.
No, it sounds right.
I mean, it
Could
could
be.
be,
I mean,
but
it's
it could be
definitely
coincidence.
definitely could be. I mean, it's got to be more than. I don't believe in coincidence.
I mean, what else could 458 mean? Let's be honest. Like, you can't really connect it so much. You got to try and find it in a Bible verse, surely.
Listen again. So listen right here. We seen Abby. We knew Abby was a Marine, and right here we have this thing of Marine, especially over cargo oversized.
Yeah, and that's going to be shipped across the ocean. It's marine cargo.
Mm-hmm.
This is, we've seen a lot of boats. In the cave paintings, we see boats on a river, but there's many, many paintings of coastlines and lighthouses and things like that. You don't put lighthouses on rivers.
I think we
So
deal with the Marine. I really think this has got something to do with some government agency. You got Abby right here with the boat holding up the key. And then we got Marines right here. Marines oversized cargo. I'm in the boat. I'm thinking this has something to do with that. Let's go back and see what else we can get into here at the group charter. See what they say about this. If we could pick up anything. One death behind 100 journeys. I think that says it right there, right? As one group of people behind all these journeys into Fromville. And we would say there's hundreds, if not thousands, of people who's been here, but there's one that's controlling this whole situation that we see going on at this place.
Hey, look, Real shouted us out in the chat.
Did he really?
Yeah.
What did he say? I can't see the chat when I'm looking at the thing. I have to click back over.
I can't highlight it, but he said, shout out Tarantoni in chat, hopping on the highway to get home.
That's what's up. When he gets in, we're on. He could always jump out. He could jump on with us.
Yeah, I'll probably be gone by then because it is almost 2 a.m. over here. But
Yeah,
I happen to be awake, and I thought, why not tell Tony about the website?
Well, I appreciate it. I will do a thorough breakdown of it and do a video on it and shout you out on it.
Oh, well, thank you.
Without a shadow of a doubt and everything else. Let's go back to the website a little bit. We are the desk that books them. Yeah. What's that say? What do we got back here? We got Casamingo, Lancaster.
They're all towns in Michigan.
Muskin, Holland, Battle Creek, Traverse City, and Camden.
All of these places are places in Michigan, but Camden is the anomaly because there is a Camden in Michigan, but it's really, really tiny, would not be on this board. But what's interesting is the missing time. There is a 3 p.m. train that's missing or something. I can't remember exactly.
So we got 9:15, 10. We got 9:15, 10:40, 11:05, 12:30, 13:50, 14:20, and then it skips to 15 and goes straight to 16:45. From Traverse City to Camden, it skips right then. Everything else is in like basically an hour or so increments on the hour, and then it skips from 14 to 16.
So what is that telling us? Is that saying there's a missing season that somewhere in there is going to appear at some point in that hour-long slot? It may appear a new town because they say one town at a time. Somewhere else on this website, we only go to one town at a time or something like that. So what I think it's suggesting is that it may be at some point on this website that line will update with a destination, and it may be an interesting location.
It could be Fromville. It'd be funny if they did that.
Yeah.
And they put that
in. That wouldn't tell us much, would it? Everyone waiting for something to show up, and then when it finally does, it's just like, oh yeah, we're going to Fromville.
Yeah. Every traveler has their own reason, and they show the bus. And I think this is to symbolize that everybody on this bus, everyone on this bus, to me, I don't know if you feel this way, Taryn, is collateral damage. They wanted Marielle. Everyone else was on the bus. She was on the bus, and that's why they grabbed and everyone else got brought in. Do you believe that? Or do you think that everybody, that there are certain other people who were meant to be here too?
Minnows in a shark's net. If Tabitha and Jade arriving at the same time was a unique incident, then I imagine a whole bunch of people arriving on a bus all together is also a unique incident. So what does this suggest? It's a family encountering a pair, and then a large group of arrivals comes later. So 3 unique arrivals. Maybe that suggests that there is a unique person in each. We remember as well that there are 3 what was it? Three different types of service that they provide or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What if, yes, there are 1 or more people on the bus who are reincarnated, but here's the problem. They're also pulling in lots of other people at random, and they're not reincarnated. But because this is a unique event of a large bus arriving, although they do have minibuses and stuff as well, so again, we can't be so sure how unique this arrival is. But I agree with you. I would suggest that one of the people who arrived on the bus would surely be a reincarnating person. Is it just Jade and Tabitha who are reincarnating? Can it be just the pair? Well, they're the ones who supposedly have to unearth the bones, but, you know, who knows if they've interpreted that correctly. They base that on what's seen on the stone. Mm-hmm. Is it just them two? Because, you know, you see what I mean? Like, it's that nothing has been confirmed on this show. Do you remember the tagline on the From trailer where some magazine had said, what did they say? Something along the lines of, um, rewards long-term viewers with answers. Do you feel like season 4 rewarded you with answers?
No,
Did we
no.
learn much of anything other than Jade, Jade and Tabitha, and maybe potentially others were the main targets, and everyone else was accidental?
When we look
That's
at,
what we learned. What did we
yeah,
learn? That there's a
I,
game being played. We kind of already knew that.
yeah,
We
I
haven't
would
learned jack shit.
I would say that maybe that confirms that. So we don't know if we learned it. We can say that's a confirmation of the
Yeah.
game being played. So they gave us that, a confirmation of the man in yellow's powers that he uses. I would
Yeah.
say we got that. But after that, we've got nothing.
Yeah. I mean,
After
it's
that, I don't
yeah.
see as anything else. I mean,
A
unless we're
golem,
saying,
there's a
if they're
golem
saying
being
that,
made. That's just another clue. That's not an answer. That's another question.
yeah, if they're
The
saying
tunnel.
that, then we could basically, if they want to say this answers the questions, then if they want to go that route, and that's what they're trying to say, then we're saying that the way to escape is the bones. The way to escape is the bones have to be performed on some type of ritual, and when they do, they'll be able to leave this place. It would take them at that's what it is. It's the bones, and now the bones have to be performed at a certain place with a certain ritual with certain people, and they have to do that, and that's how you get out here. They're saying that's what they're saying. To confirm, then that's what it's going to be. That these bones got to go somewhere, whether it's the Lake of Tears or something. They got to be some hymns chanted or whatever it's going to take. Or maybe they put the bones in the Lake of Tears. The Lake of Tears rises, and this would starts the whole flood situation. And then they got to boat their way out of there, and then that's how they get out.
It feels so incoherent. You know what I mean? Like it's like one thing, this thing happens because we want it to. The bones matter because we've decided the bones matter. You know, like no one would have guessed that the bones matter, other than like Ethan's weird story about his mother's body lying out in the woods and turning into bones. Like that's basically all the reference to bones we get.
All
You
right,
know, other than that flaming
Billy,
skeleton.
let's bring up Billy Bong. Billy Bong is saying, and it's a valid point. He said, if the show isn't giving answers, you think this weird website is. So the website is made by the showrunners. So let's go with that. That's number one. So the website is made with them, and I don't think they'll give you for answers, but I do think that they'll give you hints. It's been done before on other television shows. Marvel has used this trick with websites inside that they put up emails and stuff and addresses in there, and you got email things from the show. They have done it. So this is not nothing new that shows haven't done already. Shows have done it. We even what is that show on Apple that just came out with the licking of the donut show. That people, yeah, Pluribus. They did that. They had the Pluribus website. They put that up there and everything else, and they gave away not clues to the show, but not to the overall plot. I think it's something that they have done. So I think that you could find some valid things in there or some confirming things that are going on in there from it. I don't think they'll give you away the show on it, but I think they're validating. I mean, obviously they're using the exact same bus that showed up in the farm bill on this whole situation. You know what I mean? So they wouldn't have just done that if it wasn't didn't mean anything. Obviously, that lady was supposed to represent Abby, and then they had a man in yellow suit standing behind her.
Yeah,
you know that means
it's got a lot of Easter eggs on here. I wouldn't
yeah,
necessarily.
that's what I look at it. Easter egg,
you know,
because obviously Abby was infected by the man in yellow suit. We didn't see that happen, but we have to assume, and this is a good assumption, because it's not making an ass out of you and me, because we've seen exactly what happened to Henry and what tried to convince Henry, and we've seen Abby go through the same thing. We don't have to see Abby go through it with the person, but we must say at some point when Boyd wasn't around, someone slipped some blood in something she was eating or drinking, and that's what gave her the visions that this is all a dream and they need to go home. And she got this exact same type of situation. Probably not this, she's not in the hospital or did the acid trip or something like that, but something else hit her and she believed it, and that's why she went on the rampage. I mean, that's what it is. That's the way it goes.
Hey, and Tony, have you seen the Reddit AMA?
I did. We went over that Reddit AMA.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't love it, man. some of their answers, I'm just like, yeah, we're making it up as we go along. We've just got a very rough outline, and
That's what they said. I mean, they basically said it. That's
I
what
mean,
it is.
man, I hate it when they answer like, oh yeah, it's sort of, it's very fluid, it's very ever changing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, what? Why? Like, yes, if you're improving on something, yes, but don't just leave it all blank and then fill it with rubbish. Like, come on, you've got to
Well,
have
the whole
forethought.
we tried to, the whole Clara thing. They said that they just came up with that this year. I don't believe they just came up with it. I think they seen it out there
Well,
and
I
said,
don't
"Let's go."
believe that they spent days agonizing over who it would be, and then suddenly, out of the blue, Jeff calls John and says, "I know it'll be Clara." I mean, that does not ring true to me at all. Like, it doesn't. You know, it's not like that's a 1 minute conversation. That's not days of
Mhm.
wondering who it might be. Um, I don't know, man. I hope they're fucking with us. I hope that they're lying about a whole bunch of stuff. You know, I didn't like one thing John Griffin said that I really didn't love is that people like, how are you finally going to explain like why all these people are there? And he was like, oh, it's been explained. It was explained with minnows in a shark's net. They're just that they've just been picked up accidentally, and it's like, but they haven't. They haven't been picked up. They weren't picked up at the same time. These are people getting picked up from the road as they're driving. And then he specifically says in literally the same answer, every person there is at a crossroads in their life. So it's like, are they being picked because they're at a crossroads? You know, why is there a common thread among all of them, but they're also just being picked up accidentally as sort of collateral damage from trying to catch Tabitha and Jade. And then why do they keep bringing people afterwards? It makes no sense. So much of what they say is incoherent, and frankly, I feel quite some parts of the show are a little incoherent. And I'm just hoping that there's a big twist where they sort of pull the rug out from under us and they're like, haha, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
actually really well thought out, and like here's all that weird stuff that we've added, there's actually like really valid and well considered explanations for them, and it wasn't, we were just like, yeah, let's just throw some red lightning in, why not, let's have the earth shake
It
at just
looks
the right
cool.
time
It
several
looks cool.
times.
Looks cool.
Sorry, I'm on a bit of a rant,
Yeah, I
but
hear you. But yeah, no, I hear you. Oh, we're gonna put the red lightning in because it looks cool. Let's put the red light in. And I've said this before that I'm too old right now to accept the fact that the earthquake just happens to shake right when they need it, and it fills the whole hole perfectly with rocks so that these monsters can't, like, that stuff doesn't work for me anymore. Maybe
yeah.
as a child I
Yeah,
could
the
get away
Deus
with that.
Ex Machina stuff. The fact that a special little passage opened up for them,
Yeah.
and then it led them to the hole with the cage. You know, a perfectly designed place where they can be trapped and need to be rescued.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, and it was so contrived. And then the monsters are coming, and so obviously what's happening is that the good team, whoever's the good player, who's on the side of Jade and Tabitha,
Mm-hmm.
and like the humans, is shaking the earth to help them in times of crisis. That's what
Mm-hmm.
I believe. I believe that the players of this game have different powers. One has lightning powers, one has earth powers, earth shaking powers, one has rain powers, rain and wind powers. You know, so I think that maybe because there's like maybe one's the sun power, one's the moon power. I think that may be what's going on. That might explain it. But
Mm-hmm.
the way those cracks opened up, unless that the being that has the earth powers was able to shape it, you know, perfectly. It can't, you know, then I could accept it if it was like if it was intentionally creating that passage for them. That might make more sense. But otherwise it doesn't make sense. It's
Yeah,
just it's
I'm gonna stay with my theory that it's some parallel universe shit going on here. Said it from the
uh,
beginning. I'm not leaving it. I think that this show, it shows that's what it is. I mean, it's obvious that these people, they take from shows that they've already done. There's no way the boy in white, the man in yellow, the man in white, the man in black. It's just, and their friends and the play, like there's no way they didn't take that from Lost and just spin it. You know what I mean? To what it is right now. And I don't think it's going to be a one-to-one situation but it's still the same thing. You know what I mean? And I just think it's what's going to be what it's going to be. People, I thought your theory was aliens. It is my theory is aliens. And what does that have to do with me thinking it's in the parallel universe? How does that prevent it from being in a parallel universe? You're going to see that the man in white, boy in white, and the man in yellow are not human beings. I
Tony,
guarantee. I
do you
guarantee
believe in
you'll see
aliens?
that next season. I guarantee it. You'll see that they're not human beings. Guarantee it. And then that'll be the end of this whole alien thing, and everyone will see. There's no doubt that they're not human beings. They're obviously they're not humans. Something going
When
on.
you say they, do you mean the monsters or
I'm talking about the man in yellow and the boy in white. Those people
uh
are not.
I,
We
you
know
don't
that
think
the monsters are humans that were just petrified and everything and turned into that. And I believe they would turn into that on some experiment type shit. No magical turn that was there. There was no
yeah.
magic that turned them. There was some experiment with these worms and everything else that turned them this way.
But let me ask you, Tony, how incoherent is it that all the monsters are supposedly townsfolk who sacrifice their children for eternal life, having had a pact with some sort of dark force, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they become monsters consequently. And Fatima just gets turned into one.
From
Like,
just from giving birth, she just got turned into one.
yeah, but you know what I mean? Yeah, she got pregnant with Smiley just like that. Like, it just feels incoherent
Well,
as
she was
as
pregnant
a
before.
law.
She was pregnant before the Smile Monster got killed.
Yes, another inconsistency that we all choose to ignore. But I would sit because they came up with it um after the fact. Again, I hate these.
Yeah, they came up with it, and they
I
said it
don't
too.
know
I would
why.
say at least they admit it. At least they admit it. They said they wanted to show a way that the monsters would live forever, and they used the Fatima pregnancy. They said, "Oh, let's just say blah blah," and they went back with that.
I mean, yeah, the I hate I hate this concept that they have that they seem really proud of and they keep boasting about it, and everyone I see who listens to these interviews who's actually a theorist like wrings their hands in despair,
Yeah.
quite honestly, because they say stuff that makes me miserable honestly listening to it. I'm like, why are you saying this? It makes you sound so careless. It makes you sound,
Mhm.
maybe I care about the show too much, but it sounds so, it feels so careless the way they talk about how they come up with the plot sometimes. And I'm just like, it doesn't feel like they plan ahead. They
I
just,
think they don't plan ahead.
it's like,
They say they have
here's
the
what
beginning, they
here's
have
what
the
we
end,
think
and
would
they're
be
throwing
cool.
stuff in there.
It feels like it's like a wouldn't it be cool if is the game that they play. And then, and it's not about what have we got at the moment? What have we built up? There's so many threads that I'm just like, when are we gonna see these threads come back? What about the Molotov cocktail stuff that was teased? What about the capturing the monster that was teased? Marielle's troubles. We were all like so curious why Marielle was the only one who hadn't been affected
Mm-hmm.
by having been captured, etc. And she's complaining about something, and then now she's dead. Okay, that thread's dropped. You know,
Yeah.
Elgin, he's dead now from the most, like, I cannot explain how ridiculous that concept was, that you're going to see in a town where people are not what they seem to be, and people are afraid of a mole, and people don't trust each other, and you just had your eyes gouged out by the people you trust. You finally find a picture of someone who should not be there, and you go straight to them and say, hey, look at this really old picture. It looks just like you. What
Yeah.
the hell? I'm
Yeah.
sorry, man. This is the most incoherent behavior I've seen on From so far. It boggled the mind. It was the behavior of a child, and not even uh an older child, like a young child. It's crazy that he did that. And
Yeah.
I understand that, yes, the leaders of the town betrayed him. So it's not like he's gonna go to Boyd or
A-
or
And I
Donna.
said it. And I said it. I was like, if they really wanted to make it a smart scene and make it much better, you have him go to Clara. And Clara's already in this. So I'm using people who are already in the scene. I said, you have
Yeah.
him go to Clara. He trusts Clara. He goes, hey,
Yes.
do you think that this person looks kind of like Sophia? And then
Yes.
Clara sees it. and then Clara takes the picture, then she locks the door, and then she hands the picture to her. Now we have something, right?
That would work.
That's easier. They could have did that with the characters they have in there. I thought of that in 2 seconds, and it would have been a much better scene.
Yes, yes, and she's just happens to be the nearest person who is not the man in yellow.
Yes,
you know, I totally agree with you. There was I cannot believe that they built up that golem the entire season and then nothing happened with it. Like, okay, I get it. It's for the next. They built up that door underneath Colony House the whole season, and we don't see it. You know, I don't get it. These choices they're making confuse me. So, okay, so that means season 5, the final season, is going to be all about the golem and the passageway underneath the ground and not having talismans. That will be interesting, I must admit. I am interested to see what the town looks like when they don't have talismans. Great idea. That's good writing. I hope they considered it and know what that's going to look like, but that's a great idea. But some of it, I can't understand it. How do you pick up and drop a storyline like that?
And they've done it multiple times, and they're not the only show. Listen, Game of Thrones is considered a classic show, but I can go through that show and show you so many plot holes that they left on the table that they never finished up, and just brought up and just left. That it's what made the show suck, get bad at the end and stuff. And thank you for the super chats. I will take them in 1 second. I will do that. And I promise you, I will get to them in 1 second. You know what I mean? But yeah, I agree. You know what I mean? And you're going to have Acosta searching for something, but she don't find nothing. You know, what was the whole purpose of her being there? Just to keep her busy? You know what I mean? So she doesn't kill herself?
Acosta's done very little of anything. Bactus just replaced Mrs. Liu.
Yeah, and not even in the good way, because she sees Sophia turn the radio on and she just lets it go. And they make the town so ignorant to Sophia. Like it's like they should at least had somebody pick up on it, but nobody picked up on it the whole season. Nobody said, "Hey, this 15-year-old girl is handling this shit pretty well." When you show us in the second episode that you had people that come in there that you have to strap to the bed in order for them to calm down. But yet this girl's dad just dies and she walks in here and she's cool with everything. And nobody picks up on that. When you establish that in episode 2 of season 1, that this place gets so bad, people don't know what's going on. They have to strap these people to the bed. And all of a sudden, you're just going to let this little girl whose dad just died and do nothing for it. And in season 1, they bagged up Julie. They bagged up Tabitha. Kenny was like, don't do this. And they're like, this is our protocol. This is what we do. This has to be done. Yada, yada, yada. But none of that comes into effect for Sophia. They don't have no protocol.
They only do that in Colony House. In the town, they do things differently. But and we actually haven't seen the town's protocol yet for a new arrival. So, but I hear you. She's just brought into the town, very little investigation, but you know, she arrived pretty well. She crashes, she's got metal around her neck, you know, her dad dies, you know, she feels like a real person. Definitely
but she's not reacting like someone who would really reacting like someone who would react in that town. No one's ever reacted like that.
I don't know, but at the same time, a lot of these people don't react the way you think they react. Like Elgin is case in point, but
Elgin, he could have taken it threw up. At least Elgin threw up, went inside the thing. Randall tried to break out of the place. He wanted to get out of there. He tried to grab the shotgun up. You know, someone's tried to do something, and she didn't try to do nothing. She just accepted everything.
Yeah. But for me, honestly, you know, you can mess about the plot. You can have stuff that doesn't lead to anything, fine. But I was so disappointed in the amount of answers that we got. I'm like, how on earth can they possibly explain all the mysteries that they've set up in just one season?
No, they won't. They won't do that.
It's crazy. I don't get it.
They won't.
Anyway, you've got some super chats, man. Sorry, I'm distracting you from them.
Let me run through. We got our girl Fatima, and she says, "Thank you, Tony, for all the content and taking the time to cover these series the way you do one of my favorite YouTube channels. I wish I was your favorite, but I'll take being amongst them. Thank you so much for the support you have shown me over the time, and I really appreciate it. It really helps out. From downtown says, he's he's right. It makes no sense. Fatima did not make a pact with anyone, and she has turned into a monster. But it would explain the odd number of monsters. Of course, there should only be the parents they offered up these kids. 100%. But if you want to look at that, there were also younger monsters. There was a black monster that's not there no more. Like they just got rid of the black girl monster, and now she's not there anymore. We don't see her anymore. I just think you need it should have been more consistent with the monsters. And if they want to say, if you want to say that these people were made the pack and that's how they got turned into them, and you wanted to say, like, I would have, if it was me, right, and I was doing it. You ever see that movie Skeleton Taryn?
Remind me of the plot.
All right, so it was with Goldie Hawn's daughter, and she was like inside. She was downstairs, like down in Louisiana and stuff at that particular time, right? So what happens is basically there are these old slaves from back in the day who use voodoo magic or hoodoo magic, and when they can convince people that this magic works, they take that person's body over, and then that person's soul gets transferred into their body. And then eventually that person dies and they get to live their life all out in the thing. And like when the guy it takes over, he's like, man, I didn't want to be a girl this time, blah, 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 and all this other stuff and all that. If they would have did something more similar to that, like somehow they take over the resident's body and then that's how they become them. Because the birth thing doesn't make sense.
Dude, I've said this on Real's channel and I will say it to you. I wonder if the immortality is immortality of the body, but their soul is trapped in Fromland. So you want to live forever? The demonic children, the souls of my demonic children, whatever it might be, the spirits of the angels, the metaphysical bodies of higher dimensional beings, I imagine would be your answer, Tony. But whoever they might be, they are occupying the desiccated but ever living, ever moving bodies of the latest people who have made a deal with them. Maybe that is why they look like people from the 1960s, even though this place is much older, and surely these monsters are much older. And because if the monsters live forever, why, you know, are we saying that there were only monsters in the 1960s, and before that, in all the previous cycles, there were no monsters?
Yeah, and they didn't like the fashions of the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. Like they just stuck with the 50s fashion. They thought this was better, so they didn't go to the other fashions that came in there. Because if you're saying they took the residents' clothes, then you have residents from the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. How come they didn't take none of those clothes? Why they stayed in the 50s?
Yeah, and why is Smiley's clothing changing so much? You know, he wears a whiter, almost a white shirt with a pattern on it still, but yes, it's a whitish or a blue shirt in the basement, and then the rest of the time he's wearing his sort of grayish plaid or whatever you call it. But yeah, I'm just so I just feel like it's so incoherent. There's a lot of stuff that I'm hoping they have like a way of making it make sense. I just can't think of one. So they're either much smarter than me, or it's not going to come across as coherent to me. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's one or the other. We'll see how they actually get it. We got another one from downtown. Thank you so much. Why is the kid who knows Julie from the past a monster? What about the melanated chick? And I talked about that coming down the stairs and calling the house. It makes no sense. Now, if you want to say that person, and it seems like this is the route they're going to go, I'm going to say that person is going to maybe the man in yellow pretending to be a monster. And that's why he says, Julie, you don't recognize me. Because you've already heard him say, we got to stop running into you like this. I mean, that's where it seems like that's where I think they're going to take it. But then we never seen the man in yellow put himself in monster form before. But maybe this time he puts himself in monster form. And that's why they do that. But yes, 100% the black chick coming down the steps, they got rid of her. She's not there. Jasmine Monster's not there. Jasmine Monster was the best monster of them all. They should have did what they could to keep her on the set, especially if you're going to have her bite somebody's tongue out and then not have her again. Like it doesn't make sense to me why they would do that. They should have kept her there. And Chaz, thank you for the super chat. We need to figure out why the monsters didn't kill Randall. Again, I brought this up, and now I see a whole bunch of YouTubers and everyone jumping on this bandwagon when I said that most likely they gave Randall a deal. That's what it seems. And now I see other people over here, a Parkhead, a ballpark over here. Randall made a deal. Like, bro, you watching me on the low, bro.
No, they explained why Randall survived, even though it was a really weird reason. It was as a reminder. It was to remind people of what they can do. His scar on his face was a reminder. That's what it was.
It's not enough. Like, oh, that's not enough.
They've seen people's bodies ripped to shreds. You think that's not going to remind them better than a guy?
It doesn't work. They've seen a woman with a nail nailed through her head. You know what I mean? It's not enough. It has to be more because they specifically said you can go, but we're keeping Randall.
It should be more, but but unfortunately, I'm losing faith in the showrunners to be consistent.
I'm gonna hope that it's more. It has to be more. If it's not, then it's just something weird. And this scar didn't look that deep. Scar didn't look that deep. Like in the last couple of episodes, it looked like they were healing up. You really couldn't see him like you see him. Yeah. Like when you see him when he's with Elgin, he's like, oh, a couple of good-looking guys we are. But if you look at that last episode, those scars are almost healed up. Yeah.
Like they're just about going. People healing in Colony House. Why do people heal faster in Colony? Why didn't Jim heal? You know, he was limping around and injured the whole time. Why does Tabitha take so long to heal? You know, she has cuts on her face for bloody ages. Mm-hmm. It's very confusing. It took
Christy a long time to heal that foot too. She just stopped limping around. You know, from the bear trap foot. You know, it took a long time to get that done.
Hey, guess what? There's a teddy bear in one of these images, man. I'm telling you, we're gonna get that bear scene. Okay.
Right, let's see if we can find it.
Exit stage left, pursued by a bear. You heard it here first. There's going to be someone running, and they're going to be running to the left. I already predicted someone will lift a skull, like in Hamlet, and Tabitha did that.
Now, I'm not. I am not a. Right here, there's a bear. Right there.
There it is.
This is what he's talking
about. Could be a polar bear that we see, but they may play.
But didn't they do that in Lost already with the bear?
Yes, there was a polar bear in Lost, but they did explain it terribly, but they did explain it eventually.
So if they do another bear, do you think this is too much then? Like, to me, it's like, then I got to start looking at them as a one-trick pony. You know, because it's too much. That would just be too much. Just think of another fucking animal if you want to do an animal. Do a moose.
But it'll make everyone think that maybe it could be a spin-off of Lost. Or it's a tribute to Lost.
If that's what they're going for, then there we go. But you're gonna make me think you're a one-trick pony if they do a bear in here, and they did bear in Lost, and then you got the boy in white and the boy in white and the boy and the man in yellow and then the man in black and the man in white. Like it's just gonna be too much. Now you're just getting this is all you can think.
It's got to be Bigfoot fighting a polar bear, is what I'm.
Yeah, if you put Bigfoot in here, I'm all right with it. I'd rather see Bigfoot than a bear.
Like the bear is coming. The bear's almost definitely coming. There's been so many clues to bears. It's insane.
I really hope not.
I was so certain that there was going to be a bear in season 3 because I can't find the damn clip. It's so annoying. But if I showed you it, I think Tony, even you would believe it. There's this scene where there's this like interview where they're in Colony House. They're doing those like press interviews that they do. Mm-hmm. And the guy who plays Victor, Scott McCord, he says something. It was so obvious. I can't remember the exact phrasing that he used, but he was like, "You're barely," and he like raises his eyebrows, gonna get through this season or something like that. And it was just like, what? And you know, there's the bear trap, and you're like, oh, there's gonna be a bear. You know, maybe just like the explosion clues. It's all for season 5. All the clues are for season 5, and everyone's just been waiting and predicting and waiting and predicting. And the eclipse and all the stuff, the flood, as you say, it's all coming in season 5.
Maybe. Yeah, they best not do a bear. I'm gonna be honest with you. If they do a bear, then it's gonna be a problem.
Give me that polar bear stuff.
It's gonna be a problem.
That's what we need. We need Tony. I'll tell you what. If a polar bear shows up, Let's have a crazy theory off, right? I have a crazy theory that a polar bear is going to show up.
All right.
If a polar bear shows up in season 5, what will you do? And please give me your crazy theory, and I will do something silly if your crazy theory is right. But they got to be crazy.
We understand
that.
That
theory's out there, man. Let's be honest. There is a little. The polar bear's crazy.
So we'll go crazy. I'll think of something that's crazy. I won't think of something that's right off the cuff. But let the audience be aware that last time Taryn did this, he lost his bet to me.
I did lose the bet. I did lose the bet.
And he followed through with it, with the payment of it. So he's a man of his word. So his theory is that there will be a polar bear in this next coming season.
It could just be a normal bear, but we'll go with polar bear for the craziness level. But I feel like if a normal bear shows up, you'll give me.
I'll give you bear.
All right.
Just give you bear. Doesn't matter species. If the bear shows up, right, that's your thing. I'm gonna say this. Let me think of something that could be off the wall here. I'm gonna say,
it's tough.
Because I'm not just trying to give my regular theory. I'm trying to give something that would be crazy.
It's unlikely, but wouldn't it?
It's unlikely, but if it did happen to happen, I'm trying to think of something crazy. I'm going to say this: that Boyd gets transported to the mothership when this is all said and done.
Dude, I'll take that bet any day of the week. I'll take that bet.
There we go. He gets transported to the mothership.
Now, here's the punishment. If I win, you have to buy one of those silly polar bear hats. You know, the ones where it's like the hat that you put over your head and it's got those long bobbles on either side, and it's often like a cat or a
I had that. But if you tell me, if you just give me the link, I will buy the hat.
Yeah. It would be a polar bear hat, basically.
Okay.
And if I lose and Boyd goes up to the mothership in season 5, I will buy a UFO hat and I will wear it on the next time I come on your show.
Like a Roswell hat or something like that.
Yeah, like a flying saucer type hat with a little green alien or something in it. You know,
let's go with it.
And then we have to do we have to do an entire hour session where the loser has to wear that hat.
No problem.
The whole session to show everyone just how wrong they were doubting the Don Tonys or the great Tara Matherew's theory, or for doubting each other's theories. It is our punishment.
I am definitely with it. I'll definitely do it. The bet is made. The bet is done.
I love a good bet. It always makes it more fun.
Me too.
People
like I'm still waiting on the hot chip. I just did a double or nothing bet with the hot chip. A double bet. Someone super chatted me to do another bet for take 2 hot chips, and for Donna being the mole. I'm still, because I'm not convinced Donna's not the mole yet. I don't think it's right for me to take the hot chip right now just because Clara did what she did. I don't think that's enough to say that Donna isn't it. I think we have to wait till the end of the season, and that's the only way to prove it.
Now, my question to you, Tony, is this. Is it not possible that virtually anything, including Bigfoot, including a giant squid, including a spaghetti monster, literally anything could appear on the show now via the Nightmares incarnate mechanic?
If they'd use that mechanic that way, then 100% anything could appear. But I don't think it's going. They're not going to go that far. They're not going to go that far with it.
If someone has nightmares about Bigfoot, would Bigfoot potentially show up on the show?
There's no Bigfoot show. Of course, Bigfoot could show up on the show if they have a nightmare about it. But there's no goddamn Bigfoot coming up here. There's not going to be a Bigfoot.
My friend. Bigfoot, let me tell you, the only reason we haven't got any answers is because Bigfoot is the first answer in a chain of answers. And if they give us Bigfoot in season 4, everyone's going to know Taryn was right. And it will ruin the whole surprise for everyone. And that is why.
If they put Bigfoot in there, it's just for you personally. They put it in there for you.
That's what you said about the tarot cards, Tony.
I believe they did do that for you.
You think Jim hanging upside down like that was also for me? In season 4, 2 years later?
I do.
Oh, Tony.
Why not?
Can we do a poll? Can we do a poll in the chat?
They just admitted that they came up with the Clara idea when that Clara idea has been out there for a very long time. You know
I think
what
we
I
should
mean?
do a poll
And that they just called somebody and did somebody that, and then all of a sudden they put the tarot cards in the Amazon title and shit. The tarot cards didn't do anything else. They put them in it. No. That I think they did that for you. I really think they put that little green men in there for me.
What?
I think that anyone can tell me they can tell me anything they want about it and everything else, but you know, I this is what it is. That's what I believe and stuff.
Let me ask you a question. Is there a tarot card on the Random Move website?
I just opened it. I have to go through it to see if
I can tell you that there is indeed.
The fact that you brought it up makes me think there is.
There is a tarot card on the suitcase. One of these, I think there's 22 images on this website. One of them has a suitcase with the stickers on it, and it's a different set of stickers this time. As you know, we've discussed the World Fair in detail, you and I, Tony. It's a different sticker. I believe it's the Judgment Tarot card, but I can't be sure because it's sort of at an angle, but you can tell it's a tarot card. So maybe they're still shouting out Taryn somehow, or maybe tarot cards are actually a bigger part of the lore of the show than we think.
Yeah, Tony Real wants to hop on the stream. I'll let him hop on in a second. Let me get the link and stuff. I gotta go grab another drink real quick. Are you staying on, Taryn, or are you bouncing?
You know what? I'm having so much fun, Tony. I will stay on. My future self will regret it, but Real's just arrived, so I should stay for at least another 15 minutes.
Okay. All right. We'll put the link in the chat.
If you're going for a drink, maybe you could leave me and Real chatting while you're getting your drink.
Yeah, I'll wait until he comes on, and then I'll go get the drink and stuff. But I'll wait and let y'all chat a little bit and stuff and everything. I put the link in the description. He should be able to find it right there and everything.
I think Real's got to join our Batman. I think he's got to have his crazy theory, and he's got to wear. Everyone's got to wear a hat.
No, he doesn't show himself, so I'm not going to force him to show himself. You know what I'm saying? That wouldn't be right to do that. And
I will ask him respectfully if he would like to get in on our bet.
But I don't think that's the way. I don't think that's the way he's going to want to first show his reveal. Is going to be in the hat when he loses to me. You know what I mean?
Oh yes, of course he doesn't show his face. Sorry, I get that because I've met Real in person.
I just got in the crib, yo. I ain't even gonna lie, yo. I was speeding down here to get on here with y'all brothers. Y'all was in here cooking. We all three of us love the show, but I don't think that any television show is above like constructive criticism.
No, of course not. There's no way.
It's still my favorite show. It's still my favorite show in the world.
Me too.
But guys, come on. You've got such great clay in front of you. Like, shape it right. Don't just sort of flick at it.
And by the way, Tony, thanks for throwing that link down there and having me up.
Of course.
I just dropped it. I just dropped something today, and I lost count of how many questions I had that were unanswered. Like I said, I had at least 20 questions on there. At least 20 questions. And I just feel like leaving season 4 of a 5-season series with only around 10% of the mystery that they've presented is ridiculous.
People saying, is that an open link, Tony? Who is this? Everything broke down. Who is that person? Do I know that person?
I haven't heard
of him. Yeah, that's Baby Clay.
Yeah, he can come on. He can come on.
That's our brother right there. That's Baby Clay.
Yeah, he can come on.
Real, have you seen the website that Tony's been exploring?
No, that's why I was doing 10 over the speed limit to get here real quick.
All right. I'll let me go get my drink, and we'll put Clay on, and I'll be right back in 1 second, and then we'll open up the website when we get everybody up in here.
Thank you.
Yo, shout out to everybody in the chat.
Yeah, real take the shadow over for me, brother. I appreciate it.
Indeed. So, Taryn, what is the deal, my brother? Like, what are your overall thoughts? Like, I know that it's a little disappointing, but like, what are some of the good things that you saw in this season and the finale?
The good things. Well, I definitely liked the whole concept of having to go into the caves on a mission and then figuring out a way out and sealing it with a talisman. There's been so many discussions about how you can use the talisman in a clever way. I quite liked that whole logic. Although I got to tell you, the amount of time it took for them to take that tree out, those guys would have been slaughtered like within 5 seconds, man. That's a tiny little cave they were in, and those guys are they may not run, but they can walk across that cave in about 10 seconds. That plan was never going to work. I don't know how. It was a very bad plan, is all I would say. But generally speaking, I liked that they were thinking in that creative way. I like that part. I didn't love the earthquakes.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. I was just going to say
The
the earthquakes were very contrived, unless there was a being summoning those earthquakes specifically to help them, which
Yeah,
is
I think that's the vibe I got.
Yeah, it's got to be, because they opened a perfect little crack. It was Deus Ex Machina, where Deus is an actual thing, probably the sun. Quite frankly, whoever's the sun player, potentially. Yeah. Anyway, that's where I'm at.
Okay,
yeah,
so the spelunking, you like this, you like the spelunking, and you like the earthquakes. What else you like?
I like that they lost all the talismans. That's going to be really interesting to see how they deal with that. I like that a lot.
I noticed that they didn't get all the talismans though.
Where is there still a talisman?
Well, they had one talisman in the tunnel.
Okay? Yeah, but the monsters have that now, and they can take it. And
they probably could. They probably could. I don't know.
Although they always leave them on the floor, don't they? So maybe they could get it. But that would be pretty boring.
I don't think that they can see very well either. I don't think the monsters can see very well. Yeah. I don't think they can see very well.
Oh, well, when Boyd was turning into a monster, when Boyd had just had all those the blood of
the spider bites.
Yeah, well, we don't know if it was the spider bites or Martin's blood.
Or Martin's blood, right?
But he started getting blurry vision.
He couldn't see when he got when he left the corridor. He couldn't see.
Again, I have no, there's so many things that this show needs to explain, and they have explained virtually nothing. It is unbelievable, the lack of answers that we've gotten. And I respect it, frankly, the fact that they've held back for so long. But I don't see how they can possibly address so many question marks with one season. I mean, the pace of this season as well was so slow in the sense that things were happening, but there was no consequence to a lot of them.
Check this out.
All right, let's bring
What's up with the crows? They showed up at Jim's funeral and then they bounced. What's up with the spiders? The spiders showed up heavy with Boyd and Sarah. We know they were real because Sarah saw them and Christy saw the bites. So why did they just show up in Jade's shaman trip and nowhere else? What was the golem for if Fatima was already connected to the Smiles monster and ended up turning into one anyway? Mm-hmm. What happened to Jasper? What moved the tent? What happened to Julie's story walking? Why did Miranda's car make Tabitha have a vision of Miranda driving Christopher's car?
Who is this? Real quick. Who is this? Tahoon? Do we know who that person is?
I don't know.
I don't know.
All right, we'll bring him on real quick and see. What up, baby? Let's bring him in and see if he's got something to say. What's going on? Who are you?
Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you.
What, is that how you say your name? Tahoon? All right, he's out. He's out of here. Try.
You get one shot.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You know, I mean, it's just so many questions. Like, I'm just reading off a bunch of questions. Like, what was the kitchen ghost? What happened to finding the Lake of Tears? Who is Martin and why did he resemble that priest that Tabitha saw? Why did they focus on the ballerina in the diner? And why did the fake nurse look like the ballerina from Boyd's Vision? You know, why did they have Sarah pour the water back in the pitcher to see if she would do it if Sophia never told her to do anything afterwards? Like, I don't know. A lot of the characters from last season that had really good plots actually felt like they were just background noise. Kenny felt like background noise. Sarah was background noise. Bacta, background noise. This new woman, Patty, she got more speaking time than Sarah's damn near this season.
Yeah.
You know, I know Boyd wanted to slap the shit out of her, but he looked at her face again and was like, nah, I'm not gonna put my hand on that. But like, it's just a bunch of bullshit. Like, I don't know. It was just, however, they did give us a lot of stuff to chew on, but it's kind of like we just being strung along a little bit. They gave us some stuff to chew on, but it's like nothing real. You know what I'm saying?
It's more like this season and next season is one big season, and this is just a halfway point to the season. And that's the way I think they did it, when they shouldn't have done it that way. They could have did it the better way. That I think they could have did it better. But who am I to say? Let me get through some of my super chats that I have here. Real Rebel Eric says possible that even though it's a game, it's different games being played. That's the reason the monsters are in the 60s clothes. Maybe in a different time it was different monsters, like the puppet monsters. Quite possible, but I'm not gonna. I don't know if I can go with that one. Chad says, in my opinion, the season ending would have been good if it ending with revealing the man in yellow is Sophia. I said that before, that they gave that away too early. They should have let everyone think she was good until the end. So I agree with you, Fernandez T. Thank you. He says, if you both wrong, you both wear your respective hats. 100%. Me and Taryn are wrong. We will both wear the hats. We have Gelato says, can you guys explain to me why Julie acted like she don't know the man in yellow killed her dad? I can't explain why she acted like that. Because she didn't go back to that time period yet. She didn't see it yet. So she's seen the man in yellow eating somebody, but she didn't get to the point where the man in yellow killed her dad. She knows that the man in yellow killed her dad now because Tabitha told her. So then when she goes back and she goes, this is why I think it happens. That's why that goes. So that's not they did good with that. So I'm not gonna bust them if they do something right. I'm not just gonna say they did. Shaggy Star, thank you so much. Can you explain how Fatima turned into a monster? The build-up was terrible, and I don't get it. And I don't see how her being pregnant and giving birth to him would make her a monster. So it's the same thing that I think Game of Thrones had the problem with Daenerys. They wanted Daenerys to do this big heel turn where she was becoming a Targaryen whose mind was lost, and they really didn't explain that or show that. They just went from her going from 1 to 100. They made her have like a bad hair day, and all of a sudden she's the mad Targaryen. They could have built that up over the seasons, and they didn't do that. And I think the same mistake they made with this right here. From downtown, thank you so much. Says talisman equals basement. Colony House 1 equals in the clinic. I don't get that, but I'll come back to it. And Fatima says, this season felt dragged out. The episodes focused on one character at a time instead of multiple character storyline. I think if you're going to focus on one character at a time, Julie was the character to focus on. You started with the story walking, and I think they should have kept it going with the story walking. I don't think that they should have got away from it, even if they're having like her doubting it. You shouldn't have got away from it. You should have played that storyline out instead of pushing it to next season. I think that's what it was there. To me, they were bouncing from too many storylines and not giving full storylines, and that's what they should have focused on. Let's get done with either the Fatima thing. You don't do the Julie thing. Let's get done with something and figure that way all the way through. Go all the way through with it, and then use the other ones in the next season instead of just touching on this and touching on that and touching on that. They should have just got that out there and everything. But I think they should, since they started with story walking, they ended the other season with story walking. It should have been the whole focus should have been on story walking.
I agree.
Can I read you guys a quote from the AMA that the creators did on Reddit? We don't know if it was John Griffin or Jeff Pinkner who wrote this, because they were signed into the MGM account. But someone asked them directly, will there be any abandoned storylines? So what do you think they said? Actually, I would like to know what you would say
So
back in this.
I read that, so I already know. So I'm not going to answer that. We did.
I
a
would
live
say,
stream.
yeah, of course there's going to be some. They don't have enough time to explain shit.
Yeah, well, no. If it was you, Real, would you say, yeah, I don't have time?
We've already got some abandoned.
Oh, would I say that? Would I?
Yeah.
Oh, repeat the question. I'm a little lost on it.
No, forget it. Let me just read it out. Sorry, I was explaining.
All right, yeah, go for it.
Anyway, we are going to abandon all the storylines that you are bored by. So hopefully the answer is no. Feel free to drop suggestions in the comments.
Why are they asking for help?
Why are they asking for suggestions? That's crazy.
Don't ask for that. Now they could have been cheeky with that. I guess
that was a little cheeky comment. Like, feel free to drop suggestions in the comments. Is like, like you tell us what to do.
But we know they've been taking stuff from the creators, though.
Yeah. We got Taryn on here, and I'm speaking British. I'm saying cheeky and shit. But that was a cheeky comment. It could be taken each way, that they are looking, or they're just saying, we know you love every storyline, so no. It could be taken either way. The way they're
basically saying we're going to abandon all the storylines that you are bored by, and then so hopefully the answer is no, which basically means you're not bored by any of our storylines, and we're not going to drop any of them. But they have dropped stuff, or they've teased stuff that might happen, and then it hasn't happened. Like when Boyd, they should never have teased that Boyd was going to capture a monster. They should never have teased that Kenny's or someone's going to use the Molotov cocktails against the monsters.
Mm-hmm.
Like they tease too many things that didn't happen. You get all excited to see them, and then they don't happen. And then I think, what was the point in doing that?
Especially when you're like ending the thing, you have Boyd saying, I need your help to capture one of these things. Like, if you say that, you need to do that at that point.
Try.
You got to give it a shot. Like, and they didn't even give it a shot to do. And I've been saying from the beginning, the show, that I would capture one of these monsters. Like I said, I'll capture one and I'll torture it, and I'm going to get all the information. Because in any type of situation, when you're dealing with any type of war, you got to grab up one of the creatures. That's in any alien show or any show. You need to grab up one of them and see exactly what you're dealing with and what's effective against them. So they need to have done that. And the fact that they brought it up and then they don't even attempt to do it, it just didn't make any sense.
Especially after they killed one. Like, especially after they already killed one and made some headway with that. You know what I mean? And then they have the notion, hey, we're going to capture one of these motherfuckers. And then they never do it. They never revisit that at all. I just thought that was crazy. Did y'all notice how Randall's face healed up?
Yeah, we talked about that earlier, that Randall's face is all good. But yeah, listen, and when you do an autopsy, the number one thing you do in an autopsy, people know you gotta weigh the brain. Why didn't they take the kid's head off and look at the brain? Like, you're gonna open up the chest, that's a standard procedure, but eventually when someone's dead, they pull the brain out and they're gonna weigh that brain. They should have opened that brain up and see what was in there. It makes me think that something's going on there that they're not showing.
Well, they do mention brains a lot on this show, don't they?
Yeah.
A lot. Just like your heart's behind your ribs and your brains in your skull, stuff like that. They just chuck it. I can't get it through your brain, stuff like that. They say that. It's interesting.
And Saggy Star is 100% right. He's like 100.
Hey man, how y'all doing tonight? Appreciate you for having me on, cuz.
No problem.
I'm not sure. I wanted to get on to talk about the Eloise situation because, like I said, I'm a fan of the show. So I've been a supporter of the show since 2022 on Epics. But one thing I didn't understand was, why did they make it so important to show the audience this and then get on a Reddit post and say what they say? It doesn't make any sense. You make Victor. I don't know who to blame, if I should blame one of the writers or if I should blame Jeff Pinkner for it, because y'all make y'all characters make these statements like I couldn't even tell if it was her, or she liked to play hide and seek. She was always hard to find. And then they come back on a Reddit post and say, hey, yeah, no, she's officially dead. It's low key. Like I said, I love the show. I feel like I could say this. It's low key leading the audience on about Eloise being unalive or actually alive still. Because
What
why
they
make
should
your
have,
characters even say these things if it wasn't going to be a major reveal, you know?
Yeah, so the one thing, like the hide and seek thing, we can chalk that up. We can say that's us as fans looking too deep into it. But the fact that you had Victor say that the pieces were so tiny he couldn't tell it was her is something that is pointing that you're trying to tell the audience that's a chance that she's still alive. So I can go to hide and seek thing and say we're overstepping our bounds. It's just us theorizing stuff. But when you say that and have Victor say, oh, the pieces were so small, I'm not sure it was her. Now you're leading people to believe that it's a possibility that she could be alive. And just to say she's not alive in a Reddit post is not the way to do it. You know, it's just not the way to do it. Show it in the show that
I
she's
thought
not
I was
alive.
tripping. I thought I was taking it too far, but I was like, damn, like, okay, yeah, y'all did show the graveyard, but the same time y'all showed the graveyard, y'all said, y'all have Victor say, well, she was in pieces. I couldn't even recognize her. So it's just like, damn, like, why even make that statement if on the show you clarified her as officially dead, but you get on a Reddit post, I mean, and say that she's officially dead. But it didn't make sense to me how they went about it. Because why even make him say those statements? You know,
Yeah,
I thought I was tripping. You know, I didn't know if y'all felt the same way or not.
I feel like this, like when Kenny and Boyd were on the porch talking, and Victor got up on the roof. They ended up going on the roof and asking Victor to help them remember anything he could about, you know, the man in yellow, because they found his suit. They think he's running around. So Victor goes to his room and he starts drawing pictures. He drew a picture of the car, but then he drew this picture of the man in yellow holding a child or carrying a child, and, you know, with blood all over him and blood all over him. And I think that was them trying to tell us that Victor was remembering Eloise had been eaten as well. However, they just didn't make it clear enough. And like you said, I think when you add both of the points that you're making about how Eloise hid so well and stuff, kind of alludes that she's still hiding. And then Victor saying that he only found pieces and couldn't really recognize her, kind of gives you the hint that she's still alive. And then I just feel like you could literally take her out of the story and nothing changes.
Yeah. It's such a disappointment that Eloise doesn't lead to anything and that she was dead the whole time. But I will say this. Writers have been known to lie. You know, writers have been asked directly questions in interviews, like live interviews at cons, where they're asked something directly and they will lie and say, no, this person is dead and they're dead forever. And then, of course, next season they come back. So, you know, that could be Jeff Pinkner not really knowing that on Reddit you can pick and choose which questions you answer. It may be to just get everyone to just like lose their appetite for Eloise so that when she does show up, it's more exciting. But I would also say Eloise, the name means there are some other meanings, but it comes from the word helios, which means sun. And isn't it interesting that on Eloise's gravestone, what is there depicted?
The sun.
The sun.
And then a rainbow, right? I thought it was
yeah, there's a tiny little rainbow that they added in the corner. But in season 3, when it's revealed, you don't see that rainbow. It's in fact the rainbow is on the rainbow is the main symbol on Miranda's gravestone, and the sun is the main symbol on Eloise's gravestone. And what I found really interesting is that in Victor's dad's house, there was a mirror shaped like the sun on the wall, and they used that same mirror shaped like the sun in the dream sequence for Henry when he's in his coma bed. So I think that they're teasing Eloise. They're teasing that she's connected to the sun somehow. I wonder whether Eloise has been possessed in some way by one of the players who is representing the sun, because we see the sun versus the moon symbology. And the other player is the moon who's possessing the boy in white or someone. And maybe that's it. I don't know. Sorry, that's
You
just
know
my...
what? Now
they should have showed Eloise in Henry's dream. They should have showed her in there. Like they should have showed. If they're saying that she's dead and Henry's dream is 100% wrong, then you show Eloise alive in there, and then she's really, and he wants to go to this life where she actually lived, where she really died. You show
that would have hit harder. Yeah,
you're so right. You're
that
so
would
right.
have hit so much hard. The other one you said about Elgin finding the picture and then going to Clara, all of that, yo, that one would have hit way harder than what we saw. Even just little things like, where are the dogs at? It would have been nice to see the dogs walking with the boy in white and Sophia. That would have been a nice little touch.
Yeah, they've forgotten the dogs. Who are the dogs?
We haven't seen anything from the dogs since season 2.
They said in the AMA that the dogs are coming back. In that Reddit thing, they did say that dogs will be back.
Well, they got to, because they got to explain them. They got about 1 million billion things to explain, which is why I think they're going to give us some big answers at the end of season 5, big substantial answers, and then it's spin-off time, baby. It's spin-off time.
You have to see, that's the whole thing. I don't know if the numbers warrant spin-off. They don't show the numbers, so I need to see it. I think they'll give it a shot if they can, but why aren't they posting the numbers out here so we could see exactly where they're ranking in the charts? Only thing I could say is I see now all of a sudden Just Hilarious is making some from content. Because she's jumping on the bandwagon too, which I can't.
I'm noticing a lot of the big influencers.
A lot of people are. RDC World, they doing it.
I hate all these motherfuckers. I'm gonna be honest. I hate them. To be honest, I do, because I can't stand. I can't stand celebrities who do podcasts, and I can't stand these celebrities who jump on these bandwagons. Like, you already had your chance to make your fucking money. Podcasts were supposed to be for regular people and their opinions, and they've invaded that space. They took over the fucking OnlyFans space from those regular people who were doing their OnlyFans, and the celebrities went there, invaded their space after they seen that it was viable to make money. And this is the same thing these fucking celebrities do. This is supposed to be our space, the regular people, and they come and invade our space and take over everything. I can't stand those motherfuckers.
It's because the celebrities are not as rich as you think they are, and they still.
It doesn't matter. That's their fault, though.
And what's corny to me, and what's really corny to add on to what you're saying is how, like you say, the podcasting spaces for regular people that have, something to say, and when regular people jumped out there with something to say, a lot of these same celebrities would call them corny or call them trash or whatever, and say, oh, well, who is this person? And now they're trying to hop into the podcasting space as well. So now I agree with you there. But even more, like, From early on should have done some of those things to promote the show earlier. One thing about From is this, that it has been a show that has enabled MGM to retain subscriptions even on the off season. It's like season 3, people didn't just like drop off in droves with the subscriptions. A lot of people stayed on, so that, because From is addictive and it'll have you watching that shit over and over and over again. And some people kept the subscriptions just to watch the shit more than 3 times,
Yeah, and I would say last season was because us, the people who do this on YouTube, said we're covering the Institute next, because that was coming out right after, and that's why people gave it a shot. I'd say that had,
and that shit was ass.
It was. Oof. and not nice ass either, like shitty ass, like terrible,
like
ass,
shit, like dookie,
like man ass and shit, like not you know what I mean, like terrible, But I think that kept people on more than the shows that they were putting out. Because on that network, I would tell you, like, Domina is a great show. If anyone ever watched Domina, Domina was great. Then Godfather of Harlem, and that is it.
Literally.
That is it on that network. They put Lena Henley on the show. That show was terrible. I mean, you got Cersei Lannister on the show, and it sucks. You know what I mean? They put the Billy the Kid shit out there. They tried to do that. That didn't work. The Earth Abide shit, that was terrible. You know what I mean?
That was terrible.
They tried to do Robin Hood too.
Robin Hood was terrible. That didn't work. And they had Sean Bean on that, and they still couldn't get it right. Right. So when you have all these shows and everything else, they can't hit with nothing. So that's why I think that they would do anything from spinoff, because they can't get shit else popping on that network and stuff. And that's the bottom line. And the stuff they're greenlighting is terrible. Like, if I was in those fucking rooms and people came to me with these shows, I would say, get out. Next. Like, it would be clear to me that would not work.
Yeah. And then, you know, it doesn't seem like, you have to also understand, like, MGM didn't take a risk on From. They acquired Epics. Yeah. So that's how they got From. It's not like they saw the vision and then they hopped on board. You know what I'm saying? They acquired a whole a company with all of their IP, and then they got bought by Amazon. So it's not even like they were taking a risk. When you look at studios like Apple takes risks. You know what I'm saying? And they put some money behind some really good risks. And sometimes they hit, sometimes they miss. But, you know, MGM, I just don't understand. All right, so you're the flagship show on a network that's not that big, but it has a father company like Amazon, all right? And you're doing stuff like giving away all the answers, or not giving away all the answers, but giving away all of the preview stuff in the way, in the way they marketed it and everything. And then you have this Reddit thread where they're saying characters are dead, but they're not really being clear about that in the show. But I do want to say this, like Terrence said, you know, about the Eloise situation. Maybe, perhaps, Eloise is dead, but she's also been reincarnated. So they could be kind of playing with us when they say Eloise is dead, because in theory, you know, Miranda died and now she's Tabitha. So maybe
not to
Eloise
mention, real,
back.
We know the Man in Yellow can take the form of anyone that dies there. So just because she died doesn't mean she can't appear. The Man in Yellow could turn into Eloise at some point too.
Eloise is Sarah. I promise you, that's the way it's going to go. It's not. I promise you, Tabitha's going to hug Sarah and she's going to get it from that hug, and then you're going to see the flashback happen again. It's going to be Sarah.
That would be crazy. If they were going to do that, I thought they would do that when Sarah and Victor were getting close last season.
Not yet, because she's got to hug him. It takes Tabitha to hug. She's got to hug him first before they reveal. That's the reveal on that. So once she hugs,
shout out to Phil. What's going on, Phil?
Not too much. A couple things.
I want to ask you something real quick before you go. Yep. I want to say, what's the status on our death thing that we had, you, Tony, and I?
We can take a look at it. I think it's close between you and me. Neither one of us got deaths, but
wait a second. I think I won.
I can look at it right now. The without getting into the secondary picks, your picks real were Christy, Acosta, Elgin, Victor, Kenny, and Jade.
So and he got Elgin.
Yes, he got Elgin. And the first death was also a selection, and that was Christy. And then there was something with like, I got to look at some of the secondary, because we had secondary questions, and I have to look at the key to kind of get those answers. Tony had Ellis, Donna, Sarah, Sophia, Henry, and Tabitha. And I had...
Wait. Who did I have again?
You almost had a big win with if they had just killed Ellis and Donna.
Ellis and Donna, you would have won the whole shit.
Dude, he would have had both of them in one episode. He'd have double fist.
So I had Ellis, Donna, who else?
Sarah, Sophia, Henry, and Tabitha. And Henry could have died too, Tony. You had a lot of hopefuls.
Yeah, almost a bunch of almost.
I had Fatima back to Randall, Marielle, Julie, and Ethan. So
you get the Fatima because she was dead with the heartbeat, so she's already dead. So you deserve that win.
What do you think, Real? Do you agree that I deserve Fatima on that one?
Pardon me. You know, I'm over here on this airplane real quick.
Yeah, I'm with you. Same place.
Yo, I think so. Yeah. Because a motherfucker with 19 beats per minute, yeah, they through.
Yeah, you definitely get that. We'll give you that, Phil.
We'll give you that one.
Any of you guys know? Thank you. I'll make sure. I'll double check the scores. But I have a question for all of you guys because is this just like a came out of nowhere rumor, like the 90-minute episode or 13 episodes? What's with the Netflix thing? Is there any truth to Netflix buying the property? Has anyone ever?
I heard that they did, but I didn't see any. I've heard it, but I didn't see it in a major publication.
Right. I've just heard the bullshit rumors of it. And if they got it, then Taryn's, and I've said this too, Taryn, over and over again, I'm so worried we get like the Boys Stranger Things spinoff kind of vibe towards the end of this. I don't want to see that. End everything in this main series.
If they bought it, I would tell you this what's going to happen. I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen. All you people out there who use the video clips for the videos, you're getting striked the fuck out.
Yeah. Hey, yo, y'all gonna have to go find me on Patreon because, like, if Netflix, like Tony just said, if Netflix required the rights to From, and I heard they got all 4 seasons.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Yeah, if they drop that shit on Netflix, then damn half of my channel's gonna get zapped.
They're gonna zap them all. They're gonna pull it all down. Guaranteed, they'll pull it down. They'll just make it. They'll keep it up, but they'll make it so you can't get paid on it, and they just get paid if it gets viewed. And that's the way they'll do it. Guaranteed.
Yeah, Netflix don't play the radio at all. Like I remember, I did the Day Clone Tyrone. They took all my money, and then they released it, but they kept the money that it made. It did mad views. And then they shitted on me. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, Netflix. That's the reason why I don't put a lot of video clips. I tell people all the time. That's why I do it. I don't put video clips in there. I put a couple of video clips in there. Jen the Teacher is here. You're welcome to come on, Jen the Teacher, too. You can come on here. Ask your boy to come on here. He got nervous. He got nervous a little bit. He didn't come on. And Phil. Now that you're here, Phil, I wanted to say something to you, buddy.
I have to also.
No, before that, I want to say something to you, buddy.
What's this? I don't like the way you said buddy. I don't like the way you said buddy there, Tony.
He was gonna come on here, Phil. I know what you're gonna do. You're gonna come on here and he's gonna talk shit about Mitch Robinson. Oh, we signed Mitch Robinson.
No. Jalen I don't want to talk about anything.
I gotta finish. You signed Mitch Robinson. Oh,
what a horrible day for Boston.
And then
horrible day.
The great GM in Boston decided
the worst GM in history of Boston. What the fuck happened?
Jalen Brown
for a 47-year-old gentleman. For a 47-year-old gentleman,
52-year-old broken.
It just gave the Sixers a championship. They just gave the congratulations, Philadelphia. You just won a championship. with the three players that you have there now.
Literally, they gave away Finals MVP for Podcast P. I said, what the fuck is this?
Seriously, dude? I am most of the Boston.
Gave it up for the Finals MVP, man.
Embarrassed. Congratulations, Philadelphia.
MVP in this season.
Congratulations,
Boston is cooked. We won't see Boston for a while, but if you want to come on, Jen, just let me know. We'll put the link in the chat for you again. But yeah.
Okay, Boston, let me have my stupid Fatima thing. My headcanon with the Fatima, people asking how Fatima turned into a monster. I agree. A lot of it just doesn't make sense. My headcanon is when she was down in the room when they were doing the ritual, something, she got turned into a monster in that moment. Like when she was in that circle.
Taryn pieced out. It's 3 a.m. there. He had to get out of here. Taryn, thanks for rocking with us for as long as you do. We really appreciate it. Thank you for giving me the link to this thing. We'll go through all this and stuff like that and everything. Really appreciate you, Taryn.
Yeah, I think somehow she took part in whatever turned them originally when Smiley was born, and they were sort of turning Smiley into it, and she got caught up with the ritual and got turned into a monster in that moment. That's kind of how my headcanon of it. I don't have any evidence of that, but that's my stupid headcanon for people. I saw someone ask that question earlier. That's my headcanon for it.
What did you guys rate this episode What did you guys rate the finale?
What did I give it?
Gave it a 7.
No, you gave it a fucking 4, dude.
Yeah, 4. Yeah, I'm down. I'm down on it. I and my rating is that it's a finale. It's not a regular episode, right? So I'm not rating it as an episode standalone. I'm rating it as a season finale episode. And as a season finale episode, it's a 4.
Yeah, I gave it a strong 5. I can definitely agree with a 4. You know what I mean? They did give us some stuff in there. One thing I do notice, I put out a video talking about this, and I reviewed it like I usually do, gave it some esoteric breakdown, but I did kind of snap on it. You know what I'm saying? I did kind of snap in my video, and I talked that shit about where I feel like they went wrong and what I feel like was wrong with this shit and the series as a whole. But one thing I'm noticing is a lot of the people that weren't on this show from day one, watching it week by week like us, the people that came along, the Johnny come latelys from like season 3 or even season 2, some of season 2 people, or some of the people that just caught up and just started watching the show before season 4 started, they enjoy it. They don't see the same problems we see, and I think that's because they had the pleasure of binge watching it. Yeah. And they didn't have to sit and wait each week, like, you know.
Yeah, we talked about that exact same thing, and that studios and shows that need to look at their shows and say, is this a binge show or is this a year by year show, right? You know what I mean, and everything else. So,
did you guys hear that Patty was originally supposed to die in the finale? She was supposed to successfully shoot herself, but they changed that at the last minute, decided to keep her because they liked her.
Because they liked her.
I definitely heard that.
They liked her. They liked the way she had. And the same, like I said, tell everyone.
She was trash.
It's like I said, tell everyone. You know, the whole
horrible.
Like the whole Clara shit, and people going back and looking and saying all these Clara clues. There were no clues.
There were none.
They said they came up with that. They say they came up with that this season. So anything you've seen was no breadcrumbs being dropped. They just came up with that. So if you're seeing
Clara straight up said herself she didn't even know that the shit was real. So that means that nothing she did was in the name of any kind of bargain or anything that you saw her doing.
No, it was just
from what I understand, her aunt is one of the people that works on the set, and that's how she got the job. Or
I was just about to say that, dude. Like, people were wondering why she got picked. I'm pretty sure she has some sort of nepotism connection to the set. I don't know what it is. Like, somebody in the writing staff or the production staff is her relative and put her on as an extra, and now have featured her more. And I don't know where I'm making up. Thank you for saying that, because I thought I maybe made that up in my head real, but I'm glad you're verifying that, because I saw that too. I saw that somewhere too. Like, that's why she's even on the show.
Yeah, that's why she was on the show. I saw that in season 2. They said,
you know, people looking at that. They showed that picture of like of the 70s, and people are saying that girl in front is Clara. Like, are you out of your fucking mind?
That was hilarious. Yeah.
Like, are you out of your fucking mind?
Man, stop your shit, Tony. Hey, but look.
Did you look at that chick and make you think of Clara? Yo. What was it? Her eyebrows? What did they have in common? Because the eyebrows may be the only thing. I don't see it. Like, people understand. I understand that people want to come up with something and they want to think that they're the first to say it, but it makes some fucking sense sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, this is just, and I'm the first one to defend people. You have the right, but that's ridiculous now. That's like really ridiculous.
Oh yeah,
like, come on, people. Like, come on.
Yeah, that shit's crazy.
You're going
I think they said that because she had the head wrap on.
Yeah, well then say that Clara took the head wrap from the girl who was already there. Like, that's a better explanation than this is Clara. It's not Clara. Come on.
Yeah, that's not Clara. Not even close. Like,
but you see how the writers do. Like, they do shit and I don't think majority of the fans realize the order that they do it in. And this is why people like us are here, because we theorize about this shit. And it's been 3 seasons since we seen that Ellis painting, right? The painting that's in the room, that to me represents that photo. we've already seen that photo. We just didn't see it in depth.
I see people all the time. They go on these Facebook groups and they go, "Look what I found! These pictures of Fatima looks like a monster." We've been saying that from season 1, brother.
Season 1.
What you find? You ain't find nothing. Anybody else ain't already find.
Right.
Like, what make you think that all of a sudden that no one in 4 seasons picked up on that shit? Like, to me, the arrogance of someone who posts something like that, like, is beyond level. Like, come on, bro. You think everyone else before
anyone else noticed that
and
Clara was in
you and
every
your wife
scene?
just picked this shit out, and all of a sudden y'all just happen to find this photo? No one else seen this shit. Come on, man. People do this shit for a living, like me. Like, I do it for a living. Like, I get paid on it.
Job.
You know what I mean? So don't come with all this bullshit that y'all talking about and stuff. Like, come on, man. I mean, you got. Really
I respect the people that come into the fandom late, and they come in with brand new shit that you never heard before.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
That's hard to do. That's hard to do. But
I respect originality, because I feel like that's how I came in. I feel like I came in and was talking a different way than anybody else was talking about the show, and I feel like I brought my own sauce to it. But you know, at first when you see people like stealing your sauce, it kind of irritates you at first because of like the time period that we grew up in. We grew up in that, you know, hip hop, write your own raps, respect, don't bite nobody's shit. We came up in that era, so
don't steal jokes.
We get it a lot different when we see other people just like saying shit that other people said. You know what I mean?
And then and then fronting on it. Like, the whole thing is like, and Phil knows, like, I've been through this with Game of Thrones from like, and I'll say this, like, maybe y'all don't realize that YouTube is a business. So let me explain the business of YouTube for the people who don't realize how much money people make on these things, right? So basically, the easiest way for me to explain it to you is say every 1,000 views is like $10. All right. So look at it like that. So anytime you see any YouTube channel and you see their views, just think they made $10 on every 1,000 views they get, right? And I would be putting out videos on Game of Thrones that would get 14,000 views. Well, I made $140. I'm doing pretty well. And someone would take my shit and get 1 million views and make 10 G's on it, right? So when you think about it, you made something up and it made $140, and then someone took your shit and made $10,000 on it. That's the anger that people get in.
You know that's the shit. That's the
anger when you look at it, like, this motherfucker made 10 G's over something I made $140, and I made this shit the fuck up, right? Yeah. So when people say stuff like that about stealing theories and stealing things like that, there's real money involved, and there's a lot of non-talented people out here who can't come up with their own shit. So they just watch other people's channels and then clone their videos and then just put their same videos out. And that's just the truth.
I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real with y'all, cuz
top fact, y'all.
This is how I feel. I think people got it mixed up with inspiration and just straight stealing shit. You know what I'm saying? I look at Tony. I look at, you know, real hell, even Phil, because he's a bigger channel than me. I look at y'all as far as inspiration. You know what I'm saying? But I think people get confused with, oh, I'm about to go to Tony Page and screen record some shit. You know, that's not inspiration. That's straight up stealing my man's shit and profiting from it when you know you shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people, y'all inspire me. You know, I ain't trying to deride no pause, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I got to give respect when it's due. Y'all are major channels in the From community and the Game of Thrones community. Real got the Sinners community. And I think a lot of people get it mixed up when you should have inspiration for people and not go the easy way out and try to cheat people. See, and this is why I came up with the Tilly theories. Now, my Tilly theories are far it's far out there, but it makes sense. And like I said, I take what the writers give me, but it's something original. It's something that I came up with. So even if I'm wrong at the end of the day, hell, it's something I came up with. You know, and I have fun doing it too.
That's the whole thing. It's not about being right or wrong. And I think that's what people really press on. They want to be right or wrong. It's not about that. It's the journey of getting there. It's the journey of making it up. And I'm wrong about a lot of things. I'm right about a lot of things. But in the end, it's just the journey of getting there and making up and thinking of something like when I came out with this channel, we're gonna get back to From. I'm sorry, people, we're giving a tangent. I'm sure you want to talk about From. But when I came out with Game of Thrones stuff, back when I came out with this 10, 11, 12 years ago, there was no A Song of Ice and Fire channel on the internet where you can just put in a name and it pulls up every name reference of that person. I literally had to go through a book, remember something, highlight the book, and then read through the other books and hope to find what I remembered, and then go back and craft my theories that way. That's why I think that I'm better than people doing it, because I went through that grind. Now people just put in Stannis and they'll put up every reference of Stannis on the web that ever came out. And I think Real could deal with this too, because the era I came out with is in the music era where you had to use reel to reel, right? And you used to use a reel to record. And back then you had better ears. There was no digital stuff. You had to have what was called ears to hear different things. Now people don't have the same ears because it's all digital. But back then you had to have those ears when you dealt with reel. Those reels are fucking expensive.
Yeah, those reels are expensive.
Super expensive.
And we also came from them days where when you had to do your homework and write a report or some shit, you had to go to the library. You had to go to the encyclopedia. You know what I'm saying? You had to know what the fuck the Dewey Decimal System. You had to look
up your sources and credit them. And shit.
I use fucking microfilm in the fucking library.
Yeah, microfilm, old newspaper clippings, all kinds of shit. You had to do, you know, come from that kind of
create a bibliography of how you get the fucking shit.
You know, today it's more easy. Then what you got people doing is going and getting your transcripts from your video, throwing that shit in Chat GPT and asking Chat GPT to remix your shit.
100%.
And that's what's happening right now. And you could tell when you listen to the people, because they say a lot of the shit that the chat bots will say. You see what I'm saying? And they have the same kind of lingo as a chat bot. That's crazy, because they're just even too lazy enough to put the shit in their own words. Like, I'm sure all of us, when you did a history report, you know, you wasn't fucking Bill and Ted and shit. You had to read the shit and put it into your own words, like right out the encyclopedia, you know, like. But there you have it. We're in a different
some of these channels are free to even use their own voices. They do the computer voice reading the AI.
I will go all night with this. And I
want to say one more thing though. We live in a day and age, like when you look at the people, like let's say you want to start a YouTube channel and you look up like how to start a YouTube channel. The advice you will get will tell you to go copy someone else. And that's how, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's why everybody's thumbnails look alike, all that type of shit.
100%. Fucking stole my thumbnail, fucking blew his channel. I'm not even gonna talk about that. All right, so all right. We got Witches Brew is saying congrats again, Baby Clay. What happened, Baby Clay? Why are we congratulating?
Oh, nothing, man. I just been pumping out, you know, a lot of content, and I won Horror YouTuber of the Month. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, man. But like I said, when fuck the AI, if you want to do something, just make it original. I'm a small ass channel, but I do what I got to do. You know, when it comes to From content, when it comes to any horror content or whatever, you know. And I appreciate you again, Tony, for allowing me on. But yeah, that's about it. I just want a horror YouTuber of the month.
I will put the StreamYard chat in there again I put it in there for Jen or any other YouTuber who wants to come on here and talk. We're talking season 5. We're gonna go through this thing. Phil, you have the private chat. You see what's in the private chat, right? Do you see the link in that private chat?
No.
There should be a link in there that Terrence sent.
I don't, but I did see the website that you had up before.
You want to take that and throw that up there and go through a little bit? I have to run downstairs real quick. I gotta text someone's down there.
You got to put it in there for him again, because if he came in here after
he posted it too.
I'll grab it again. Let me see. I'll put it in there. this is gonna go. It may not go to the main page. It may just go to the page that it's on. But Phil will figure it out. He's good on that. There, I'll put that in there. We're gonna go through this real quick and everything else. But I have to take care. I'm sorry, I have no choice. I have to take care of this real quick. You got Lori from Real Cinema Therapy.
Yes, Tony. Lori, Real Cinema Therapy. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I really was not happy with the finale, and
all right, real quick, Lori, you jump right in there. All right, listen.
I'll take over. Go handle your business.
I gotta go do something. Phil's gonna hold it down. All right, I'll be back.
Hey, Lori, it's good. It's good to talk to you. It's good to have you. But yeah, let me set you up. Why don't you share your thoughts on some of your disappointments on the season finale?
Hi, Phil.
Hi.
Hi, Real Enigma. Hello, everybody. I just feel like I don't know. I feel very let down by the finale. I think there was a huge buildup for it. Everybody was so excited for this season because last season was so great. I love last season. And then this season was a disappointment. One of the reasons I think it didn't work was because of the Sophia character. Everybody wanted Man in Yellow. The season 3 ended with Man in Yellow. This is what we all wanted. And instead, there was this transformation into this girl her character was boring. She didn't do anything. She wasn't scary.
She was a little OP too. Like no one seemed to be able to even get a read on her at any point.
Exactly.
She was dominant.
And the whole season revolved around her. Nobody else had as much screen time as she did. So we didn't see Sarah. We didn't see Kenny. And all the characters that we love, we barely saw them. Donna, right? It was all about Sophia, and she was not interesting. So the best scene was when we got Doug back, right? Doug Hughes, Man in Yellow. And that scene with Tabitha at the RV, that was brilliant. Everybody was talking about that. It was exciting. His character was charismatic. He was funny. He was scary. You don't have that with Sophia. So I think that is the major reason that this season did not do well. I mean, that's my opinion. I also did not like the ending with the boy in white and the man in yellow having a game, playing with people's lives, their emotions. Everybody is saying, oh, boy in white is good. I don't think he's good. I don't think he's evil, but I don't think he's good either.
I think they're both selfish for their own needs.
Exactly.
And
right.
they're both chaotic middle or something like that. They're not. And I also think I think Taryn was saying this earlier. I was talking about. I do think they both have different power sets. Like one can control the mountains and the earthquakes, and one can control stuff in the forest or whatever. However it all works.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know. I really don't care for that storyline. It bothers me. Everybody is like a pawn in a chess game, right?
What did you? I'll reverse the question. What did you like about the finale and the season in general?
Okay. So what I liked about the finale was I loved the scene with Marielle and Christy. The acting was incredible. Christy, Chloe, I believe her name is.
Yeah, Chloe.
Her acting was great. It was very emotional, and I like that part. I like seeing Fatima change into the monster. I like that. And I liked Elgin getting his redemption. He was redeemed in the end.
Okay,
I like
that's where we can disagree. I think Elgin was redeemed to just be stupid, but I do like he made the right decision in the moment. Because I would say in that moment when someone asks you if you're a god, you say yes. But I hear what you're saying with the Elgin situation.
Yeah, I mean, what he really should have done was say, "Yeah, okay, I'll help you," and then he just runs away and tells Boyd everything.
Exactly. That would have been the smartest move in that situation.
Yeah, I agree. He wasn't very smart about it. No. So, and as far as the season as a whole, what did I like? I love the Victor Henry storyline. I loved it. I thought it was brilliant, especially the acting between the two actors. The guy who plays Henry, Robert Joy, he plays a drunk really well. That episode was amazing, I thought.
Yeah, I also, my highlight point was also Kenny on the Kenny in the Smiley situation. Real, what were some of your favorite parts of the season? We talked a lot about the shitty parts. What are some of your favorite parts, Real? Of
I have to agree with Robert Joy. I feel like he stole every scene that he was in. Sophia, she was a good actress. However, I also have to agree she was more playful than menacing. And it just, I don't know, it just kind of falls flat, especially after introducing us to the man in yellow, and then to come to find out that he's just going to be this shapeshifter person.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't feel like it, worked for me. But like I said, I like the Robert Joy. I love, one of my favorite symbolism threads came true again. I made a prediction that Boyd was gonna be the light bearer at the end of the episode. And in the first season, he had the lighter in the root in the well. Second season, he had the torch. Third season, he had the lantern. And this season, he had the flashlight going through the tunnels. And he also had his firearm. I like that.
And he actually used it too. He actually fired the gun a couple times.
Right. He actually used it to break those sticks, the cage sticks. But yeah, I liked a lot of, I loved episode 7. I loved episode 5. I loved the mushroom trip. Episode 5 and episode 7 are probably my 2 favorite episodes of the entire series.
Dude, you're so right. And I think that's what it comes down to with the finale in some level. It's the finale wasn't the best episode of the season. It peaked. The finale was like, I don't think it was the worst, but I don't think it wasn't the top off that you need. Even the people,
I think it was the worst. I think it was the worst finale we've gotten out of all 4. And 3 was not that good either, but I can say that 3 was definitely better than 4.
Yeah, with the gym stuff and the introduction of the man in yellow, which was so ominous. Clay, what are some of your favorite parts of this finale and some of your internal gripes? Like, let's get on the Sophia thing. Touch on what you think of Sophia.
Well, fuck Sophia, because I knew what it was when she first appeared. She was just going to be this boring ass manipulator that was just going around starting shit with people. But I mean, I low-key liked how they foreshadowed Marielle's unaliving in season 2. So low-key, we already knew from the vision that she had that she was going to somehow meet her demise through Smiley. Way back when she first arrived, when she was going through withdrawals, she had that vision of Boyd pointing a gun and Smiley coming in through the door or whatnot. So it was the same exact way. It was just that Fatima was right there. I low-key like that part, the Fatima, Marielle, and Smiley coming in talking about.
I said that on my live stream.
And,
I said I love that. I love that. Right after it, I liked how they did that as well. I was mad that they killed Mary though.
I was low-key upset. I figured it was coming. You know what I'm saying? I figured it was coming.
But Real, you're right, because it's just a wasted opportunity. It's like the movie Wasted Talent, Bronx Tale. It's because you had so much of an opportunity with Marielle, Randall, and Julie that maybe Julie's story walking ability didn't work because you need all 3 of them together because they were all tapped into it. And each one of them have some sort of a different Captain Planet ability that needs to combine together for the fucking story walking to work. There was something cool you could have done with both of them, but instead you isolated Randall and Julie together to just jerk off that storyline and wait till next season. And Marielle was on an island with Christy. They were both great actresses, great work, and when they gave them stuff to do, but they were sidelined essentially for until they died. Until she died.
This is how easily you could have made that work, and this is how you do it. All right, you've already established that when Julie walked through the ruins, that Ethan couldn't walk through with her. All right, because you had her disappear and go in there. You could have easily just had Marielle be able to walk through with her.
For sure.
Or Randall, when they all walk through together, they can all walk through as long as they're with her. You know what I mean? They could have easily done that and had that whole thing work out for them. And it would have been a much better situation there. And then if someone dies in that situation, one of them dies there, then someone dies there. Maybe Julie's the only one who makes it out, and Randall and Marielle don't make it out. Right? But you could have easily had that established and done it because you had already set that up. So that's how I would have went with it. If it was me writing the show, I would have probably put it down like that. Because I think that Marielle getting killed by Smile Monster, and like, I understand what they were trying to do. Her death hit hard because of Christy.
Christy's because even more, it hit hard because of the actor's performance. It was performance based. It wasn't story based. We like it, and you even said it in your video, Tony. Like, you weren't expecting to feel something, but you felt something because of Christy's acting performance. I don't think it was because of the death of Marielle itself. It was because like Chloe gave an excellent performance.
Exactly. Who is this Soul Taker person? Who is this? You know that person?
Sure. That's why I'm not sure.
Oh, that's my green skin brother Ray. Bring him on now. He definitely be cooking.
All right, we'll bring on Jen. At least we have someone who's actually showing themselves. I appreciate you.
I'm intermittently showing myself.
Hi, Jen.
Go in between. Hey, Lori. Hey, Reels. Hey, baby Clay. Tony. The Don.
Hello. We
pleasure as always.
Jen and I are having a stream at 11 o'clock tonight on the finale.
Yes.
Just so you know.
That's fine. You can do the plug. It's fine. It's fine. So we know what channel. Let's go.
It's not just a plug. It's because we're going to have to leave in like 15 minutes. That's why.
Let's go the whole. Let's do the whole plug. What channel is that going to be on?
Real Cinema Therapy.
All right. So on the Real Cinema Therapy channel at 11 o'clock, they will be on and stuff. So when we get done on this, y'all can go hop over there. If you want more from content, make sure you go over there and talk. They will talk about the finale for you. We will put the link in the description for you and everything else. Mr. Black Bond says, I love Jen. Why wouldn't you?
Hey, Chris. Love you, puppy.
Why wouldn't you? All right, Soul Taker, who are you?
What's up, man?
What's up, Soul Taker?
Slow talking Soul Taker, man.
What happened?
It's Slow Talking Soul Taker. You might not remember.
Oh,
okay, you remember then.
Yeah, I remember. You know, let me say, I was just obviously that was a stream that Samantha was on and stuff, and I was kicking a lot of people off for a lot of different reasons,
including me.
Yeah, including stuff. So don't take any offense to that. I was just trying to be funny. That's all.
None taken, man. I'm glad you had me on.
I appreciate it. All right, so I'm glad. So we got the cinema Real Cinema channel in there in the chat. So make sure y'all go over there and subscribe to the channel. They'll be breaking down the episode in about a little bit of half an hour and stuff like that and all that good stuff. And everything. Did we look at this thing yet, Phil? Or no?
We haven't. We ended up just going around and talking some questions.
All right, cool. Good. We've done all that good stuff and everything. All right, so we were talking about season 5. That's what the stream was supposed to be. I have to do another stream about season 5 because we got a lot off topic. But if there's one thing that everybody wants to see in season 5, or one mystery that they need to cover, like they need to cover this, right? Please go around the board and say what they need to cover. We'll start with the ladies first, and then we'll go to Soul Taker, and then we'll go around the men after that. But ladies first, what do you think they need to do in season 5?
I first think that they need to do something with the Lake of Tears. They mentioned it. I think that has to do something with the bones. So if you're thinking sequentially and where it would chronologically go, I would think it would be fitting to bring back that Lake of Tears. Plus it ties back into season 1, episode 1, which is where they said that we get all the answers from, right? I mean, there's so many mysteries, but that one I think would be the appropriate one that would follow into season 5.
All right, Lori.
There are so many things that they have not addressed.
Yeah,
I mean, we can list like 100 things, but I want to say one thing about Eloise because I feel very strongly about this. They should have put Eloise in this season in Henry's hallucination dream.
Yep.
That would have been perfect. I don't understand why the showrunners do not want to do that. I was very upset about that. I have
They
to
talked
say.
about her, they teased her, but they didn't fucking do it.
It's because they trolled us. They trolled all of our theories. I'm sure they were plugged into Tony's and many other channels. They trolled us.
Yeah.
Especially for them to come on that MAA. For them to come on that MAA, like, oh, she's dead.
Yeah, and then they said that we're making up conspiracy theories. No, you led us to believe that we're going to see her again. I thought that was horrible.
Yeah.
They did. No doubt. I talked about that earlier. They should have put her in that dream, without a doubt. All right, Soul Taker. One thing that they need to show this season coming up. All right, we'll come back to Soul Taker. All right, everything broke down.
He thinks it's nothing. He doesn't want to see anything.
I'm gonna be honest. They got to show me what this place is exactly. I don't want you to beat around the bush. I don't want to have to guess. I don't want to leave it to speculation. We have to find out, or we need to know what this place is. What's the conscience behind it? What's the nature behind it? Why it doesn't seem like everyone else is a pawn and it's two main. They need to say all of that in season 5. I'm not cutting no corners with this show anymore. I love the show. I'm not gonna stop watching it, but at the same time, they gotta answer what this place exactly is.
That was the one I was gonna say. That's the same. So he said my answer, ditto. Like, and he said it like how I would have said it too. I don't want to be beating around the bush. I don't want to like have to put it together and say, because what we get so far, this is a prison where some entities are having a game, playing a game. But no, I want to know what this place is, why, what's the trees, what's the significance of only them being in the contiguous United States. Like what all of that, what is that? What does that have to do with? And if they don't go there with it, if we don't get that, I say shame on the writers.
For real. That original ritual and what happened in the original timeline, this whole bargain, how this place was created, that is necessary for us to understand and really accept what this whole series has brought us to do and deep dive and theorize and craft and find all that symbolism. For them to sit there and say that it was just coincidence, I think would just be a slap in the face to all of us. And we need to see that origin story for us to understand and accept what's going on.
I agree. Phil, and I am blessed to have you as a friend.
Oh, thank you. So someone's sorry for the labia licking, but you got to do it sometimes. So ultimately, I think the most important. You guys named a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of important things that I want to see in this next season, but we made it very much a point to see what happened in the bar situation with Jade, taking over the alcohol production. So we're going to need to see who's handling Fatima's weed plants. I think that's an essential part of the next season. Yeah, we need to see what happens to the weed plants, man. Yes. So I agree.
I agree. I think
who's tending to those fucking plants? Donna?
We need to know who's Donna got the green thumb or whatever we need to do. I could say that we need to find out what's finally in Donna's pockets. I mean,
weed seed. She's ruminating the seed.
She's got her hands. She's elbows deep in them pockets. We need to find out what's in those pockets. Also, I will also say that next season, like what they need to show me in the end, and I agree with everything that everyone says. We definitely need to see that. I need to know what the connection of Jade's computer company is to this. And if they say it's nothing, then let me hear it's nothing. But you can't bring that stuff up multiple times about his job and everything else, and then all of a sudden it has nothing to do with anything. It has to have something to do with something. Mm-hmm. I would need to know what's going on with Jay's computer company when it's all said and done. I think they need to come out with that and everything else. And I need to see some real deaths, not the deaths we got. The deaths we got this season, and the problem with the deaths we got this season. Again, when you kill somebody in the show, it's supposed to change the narrative of the show going forward. The deaths we got change nothing. the show, whether they were alive or still or gone, there's nothing been changed in the narrative of this show. So I just think that they were just deaths just to kill people. They may have flipped a coin to figure out who to do it, but it didn't change anything of the show. So I need deaths to actually change the momentum of the show.
And I don't know if you guys discussed this earlier, but Harold made an interview where he said that Patty was actually supposed to kill herself.
Yeah,
and he decided not to, and I was like, that's some bullshit. And she should have died. Like we're all screaming for it.
I said this on another stream, but it's so true. The worst thing that ever happened to television shows was people shipping characters and being like, if this character dies, and started with Daryl on The Walking Dead. Yes. Daryl dies, we riot. Fuck you. If the story makes sense for the character to die, kill the character. And I think shows are afraid to kill off main characters till the last season. I think you'll get what you want, Tony, because it's the last fucking season. They didn't want to kill characters off before we get a chance to have them on set. It's a big deal when you lose main characters these days now on shows. It takes a lot to kill them. That's why a show like Sopranos or The Wire would be tough nowadays. People go, you can't. Spoiler alert, you can't kill Big Pussy. You can't do the show without fucking Big Pussy.
Right.
And that deals with the social media thing that I said. Will they keep people around because they have a huge social media?
I'll riot if they killed the Big Pussy.
You know what I mean? So will they keep Kenny around just because Kenny has one of the biggest social media followings on the whole show?
Guys,
we're going to keep. Now, I think they don't plan on killing Kenny, but is that a factor in their decision making?
Yes.
When it comes to some of these things, and I think that's not the way it's supposed to be. You're supposed to kill the person that makes the most narrative story that changes the story going forward, no matter what's going on with them. I mean, they killed Jason Momoa in the first season of Game of Thrones.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They killed Oberyn Martell, Pedro Pascal, in one season when he showed up. The same season he showed up, he got killed off. And it worked.
Pascal was in like 2 episodes, I think, or 3.
Right.
No, he was in the whole season again.
He was? Oh.
Yeah. When that season came out, he was in the whole season because he came in there first and then he did the whole thing and then he became the champion. He died at the end and stuff, Well, episode 8 he died. But they killed him off. That's what made Game of Thrones good. You thought that?
No, Tony, he was actually only in 4 episodes: Two Swords, Mockingbird, The Children, and First of His Name. He just was so important or he had so much charisma that it carried through the whole season because he actually only was in 4 episodes. Surprisingly,
no, he was great. He was.
His death was epic, actually.
He's one of the best. He's one of the best castings that show ever did. Like he's on the money. Just can't do a better casting than him.
Who are y'all talking about again?
The Mandalorian.
Everybody answered at the same time. Are y'all talking about the dude that played Tywin Lannister?
No.
The Mandalorian.
Because that was Brother Noopsy right there.
Yeah, we talked about that all the time.
My dear sweet brother Noopsy. No,
that's my dear brother Noopsy right there. I thought he was a great cast for that show, and he only was in a few episodes.
Yeah, he made a couple of seasons.
He was in a couple seasons.
Yeah,
I mean, he wasn't like a heavy character on the show.
He was the one that made bad guys.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm bugging then. I'm bugging. Yeah. But he's a great cast. Great though. He's great in everything though.
He is. Charles Dance is amazing. He was amazing in that show. There's they did a really good job with a lot of the actors until they got to the Ironborn.
He was in 27 episodes of Game of Thrones, Charles.
Damn, 27.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, wow. And that's when they started slipping. Once Euron was a terrible casting, that was not the right casting. Should have been Mads Mikkelsen. They should have found a way to get Mads Mikkelsen in there to play that.
But I agree with something what you were saying, Phil, about The Sopranos and also like Walking Dead, where they would kill major characters. Tyrese died. I'm blanking now, but so many. Shane died, right? Walking Dead,
Lori,
Sopranos, everybody. Carl, right? They weren't afraid to kill these characters, and that's what made the shows so great, right? Because you never knew who was going to die. Glenn, Abraham. I mean,
Herschel.
The list goes on. Herschel.
They damn near killed Rick.
And they damn near killed Rick, exactly. So I really liked that because it was real, and you didn't know who actually was going to live to see the next season. But with From, they didn't do that. That's the problem. And I'm not saying I want to see everybody die, but you have to show us something. I mean, just having, you know,
Jim is the biggest death we got.
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
for sure.
I think they started off killing the wrong people, and then they were just tiptoeing around death for the rest of it. Because when they killed Father Kotri and Trudy, I think those were the wrong deaths.
Dude,
right?
and they kept bringing back Kotri because they killed him too early, so they kept bringing him back in a fucking ghost form. And in this season would have simply been solved with Tony winning the goddamn contest, and they just killed fucking Ellis and Donna in one episode with the Cabbage Patch Monsters. Done. Like that, there's your intensity, there's your emotion. I like that they made Kenny survive. That was an awesome scene. But if they were just, it's just Ellis is useless, and I love Donna, but that would have been the emotional weight you needed for a death.
Elgin was this guy trying to troll somebody saying Elgin was a hero. What was he a hero of? What?
He saved Patty and he saved Ellis.
Even if this.
He saved Patty when he stabbed it with the voodoo doll, when he stabbed Roger. Yeah,
but Roger
and
wasn't.
He also saved Ellis when Ellis got stabbed by.
So real quick, let's go through it. Roger wasn't trying to hurt nobody in that situation. He overreacted way. He wasn't trying to hurt nobody.
Roger was confused because his mouth.
Well, see, what I thought was that him and Patty was fucking, and then he came up here like, bitch, now you gonna be fucking everybody. And that's what you know what I'm saying? That's what I thought that was. And I thought he was trying to chin check her real quick.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to hurt no one. Ellis just overstepped his bounds. So I don't give him the pass for that. The Ellis thing and driving the car, we'll give him that. We'll give him that one. We'll say that he definitely did.
I fully support that fan fiction. Really.
And when they tried to do the scene again, like they know that scene worked. And they tried to do it again the last episode. It didn't work this episode.
I was going to say the same shit. They tried that scene again in this episode, and it just didn't work. It fell so flat. They didn't pull it. It didn't have the urgency. The situation called for the urgency, but none of the characters. The acting in the last episode in the finale was terrible. Like everybody looking up, like they saw the lightning and stuff, looked so goofy to me.
It's like you do an effect just for the sake of the effect, but it doesn't have any meaning behind it, and that's the problem.
They should have had like 3 or 4 people get struck by lightning.
Close the doors.
I think they should have had Colony House invaded again. The
talisman. You had the fucking door. They
never used the door.
The door busts open and Colony House is invaded during that situation.
Yeah.
And not for nothing, the whole Victor and Henry scene I thought was a big flop. That gun should have gone off. And if you didn't want to kill Ethan, he should have still gotten hit in the arm, or at least the gun gone off like real close to him. Something should have happened more in that scene. I felt like it was a big letdown because nothing happened, and then we don't really see anything that happens with them. It would have weighed more on the audience.
Everybody would have been shocked if it would have shot Ethan in the stomach or something.
Oh my God, yeah.
And it's the same thing. You got to think, like, what happened to Carl? Carl got shot by the one dude
in the eye.
And when they were at the barn and shit with Herschel and them, he was being healed. Right, like he was down for a couple episodes in The Walking Dead, and then he lost his eye.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like shit happened.
Exactly.
Then he ate all that pudding.
And not for nothing, they chose to kill Marielle and not Christy. So I feel like Marielle's storyline, like we don't really know enough. Like she was just starting to open up, and so they left Christy alive. So if you're gonna leave Christy alive, then make her useful. Then shoot Ethan and have her save his life and have to kind of prioritize shit, even though Mariel was dead. That would have had so much more weight, and we would have all been sitting on the edge of our seats. But
we would have been going into season 5 with this major dilemma of Ethan getting shot. Then we lost a couple people like Elgin and Marielle. Then a couple of people would have got struck by the red lightning. Like it would have hit harder, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah, I brought this up. I said it before that they should have shot Ethan, and the reason why they should have shot Ethan was because you needed to snap Henry out of what he was doing, and just getting yoked up by Victor is not enough reason to get snapped out of it. But if you shot Ethan, then he could have, holy shit, this is real. And that would have snapped him out of it. And for that reason, that's the reason why Ethan should have got shot, to get Henry.
Yo, we just wrote a better finale.
Yeah, and not for nothing. If you were gonna if they were gonna keep the scene the way it was, the gun got knocked out and it's on the floor. If you're gonna make Ethan have to turn and make a dilemma, he should have picked up the gun and at least pointed it to Henry, and then we hear a gunshot go off. So you don't know if like what Ethan did. Like at least do something. The gun just sitting on the floor, and Ethan just like, like don't be Tabitha. Don't be like no. Pick up the gun and do something with it. Coño. Like there should have been something more. It could have either gone to Ethan being shot, or then coño, pick up the gun como si hombre. Like if you're a man, pick up the gun and shoot Henry to protect your brother.
But you want to know what's crazy? I thought honestly, once Victor knocked the gun out of Henry's hand, I thought Ethan was going to pick it up and shoot Henry, because in season 3 he was eyeballing the gun the whole time. Once Boyd took that gun away from Victor, I thought Ethan was going to turn into his dog
on the roof of
I agree with what Tony said. I agree with what Tony said. If he had shot Ethan, it would have brought Henry out of that stupor he was in.
Yeah,
and
no,
it
I
would
definitely
have brought
agree
him
with
back
that.
to reality.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Or he should have like knocked Ethan off the roof. Like we had that whole thing with the roof earlier in the season, and they should have like had the culmination of Victor and Henry's scene back up on the roof and maybe knock Henry off.
Oh yeah. That would have been great.
I'm stealing that from Tony. I'm totally stealing that from Tony.
Real quick, check the private chat. I just dropped something. This website got sent to me, and I checked out the website in very much detail to make sure it was legit and not fan created. So just check out the website I just dropped in our private chat.
Oh, we just went through the whole thing.
Yeah, and Tony went through
it. I went to go send off my friend who's up from New York from Florida, and I was at a live music event, so I missed the chat. I'm so sorry. I missed the live
it's all right. Yeah, we did that whole. We just went through that whole situation. Cool. Thank you for the super chat.
Don't use Rondé Move to send them to Florida.
Gelato 3299. It said, "Is it just me, or is Julie too annoying?" I love the show, guys. Thank you very much. I mean, I'm not gonna say Julie's annoying. I think she was when she first got on there. That's the way they were playing it. I actually asked the actress this when she came on, and the number one thing she said was like, "Yeah, Julie's annoying." Like she knew that. That's the way they were asking her to play. I think the Julie thing, just they got away from a storyline too quick. And I understand that when you have a power that she has, that she can give up everything. But they should have focused more. You should have at least had her get to the gym part this season. Now we're gonna see her get to the gym part next season, but they should have just did that. They should have just went to the gym part and not gone any further with it. They should at least wrap that bow that she got to the gym, how she got the scratch on the face. They should have settled that. And instead they are taking things from a couple of seasons ago and pushing them forward. The thing about shows like this, and the things that make shows like this successful to the point where people like watching them, is you have to answer the prior questions before you put in new ones. And they don't answer the prior questions. They just keep adding new ones on top and without going through all of them. Answer those questions, then put new questions in there. That's what they need to do, and that's the problem with the show.
Agreed. You can't just keep adding questions upon questions upon questions.
That's what they do. That's the lost trademark. That's what you do.
That's the lost formula.
It is. It is. You're describing Lost to a T right now.
Right.
Lost had 20 episodes a season though, so they can do that shit.
It's true.
You can't do that shit where you got a 10 episode season and you just created more questions and more questions. But I love this show.
Things up.
Oh, I would die on that From Hill. It'd be crazy for me to stop watching the show in 4 seasons. And like I said, I agree with everyone. The season finale was shit. It was a couple of good pieces that I loved, but overall, I felt like it was not a season finale. It was an ending to an episode. It felt like an ending to episode 7. It gave me the same type of feel. So, like I said, I will die on that From Hill.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. I think it was like an episode 9. I think Tony had mentioned that earlier too, because I had heard that when I was like trying to listen when I was driving in. It was like an episode 9. It definitely was not a finale worthy of episode.
Yeah. It's just totally isn't. It's a demo. You got something to say, bro?
Yeah, what up, everybody?
What's going on?
A lot of voices tonight. No, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the AMA and how we're kind of getting gaslit by the creators. You guys mentioned the Eloise thing already, but the other thing that kind of ticks me off is the hotel. They're like, oh, you know, maybe there was never a hotel. And it's like, well, if that's the case, you still got to explain it.
Right.
Yeah, if there was never a hotel, then it needs to be why do you have that sign there to begin with?
Yeah,
You say it's
it's
never
like,
a hotel and not explain these things. Like you can't bring like if you're gonna say if you're gonna and especially when you bring up when you have Henry mention it, right? Henry
Mhm.
brings it up in the show. If any character brings something up in the show, you have to explain. So the carousel horse needs to be explained. If you say it in the show, you need to tell us that. And if you're not going to tell us it, then you should never bring it up.
Never bring it up. We got like Chekhov's hotel. We got Chekhov's sister. We got Chekhov's carousel horse. We got Chekhov's radio.
Who moved the tents? Who was knocking on the cabin and when it was Jim and Kenny? Like, there's so many unanswered questions that is just strung along between different seasons, and we're at a point where like you got one season left, and you've left a lot of unanswered questions, and then there's more.
So
then you got a lot of work to do in 10 episodes.
The attitude of the creators when they're just like, oh, you know, the fans will they make up their own stuff, and it's like, nah, man, I'm working with what you gave me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like I said earlier and stuff. You know, if you want to say,
wow, we're the Brady Bunch right now. We're totally.
Hold on, let me get like.
Wait,
there we go.
I'm in the top corner. That makes me the dad. He's in the top corner.
High five, Tony. High five, because I could see you. High five.
that makes me Mr. Bray. I'm the architect of this motherfucker. I'm in the top corner.
I just don't see how they're going to be able to answer all these questions. It's impossible. There is too many open storylines, and at this point, they can just keep opening up new storylines and not answer what they were supposed to answer, right? So it becomes very frustrating. It reminds me of Lost in
They
that
only
way.
have so much time though. They got one more season.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
10
And
episodes.
it's like Lost.
Yeah, they gotta hustle.
Yeah, they really do.
It's going to be and that's the problem too. If they try to do it too fast, or they try to rush and do it, that'll be a problem as well.
I think Lori and Jen, the teacher, need to run to start Lori's stream. Everyone, when we're done, make sure you jump over there and check them out. Lori, Jen,
I'll
great
for
to have
about
you.
10 more minutes or something. It's already 2 hours. I'll go to 3 hours and then everybody jump over there right now.
Yeah. Thank you for having us. Thank you for everybody on the panel. Tony, Phil, Real, Baby Clay, Dana Miranda, you just jumped on here, Soul Thicker, everybody. Thank you so much. We'll see you on the next one. Love you guys.
Yes, thank you so much for having us. And it was fun, Tony. Let's do it again.
Anytime.
Great. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much. And and if you can jump by later on, we'd love to have you.
All right.
Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, and thank you for the super chat from Dreamer, who said, I think Fatima is going to be the golem. I don't know if she's going to be the golem. I don't know how that would work and how they would be able to pull that off. So,
do you think they're done with this golem thing? I kind of feel like they better not be.
No,
I don't. Listen.
They're
the
done
fact that they have we're gonna catch a monster and they haven't done that. The golem thing they may scrap the golem thing.
The golem was just a vessel to throw in some Jewish mysticism. That's it.
But if that's the case, that's crazy as hell. Because she could have just talked her to go. She didn't have to build one. They made it a big thing that she
had to have Elgin.
She was sending Elgin to get dirt.
They got Elgin.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, why even do that? Why even do that to make a statement about the Jewish religion? You know what I'm saying? It just seems like it's all for nothing.
Yeah, it was like they just wanted to do that dialogue and they needed to create the golem to.
You could have done the dialogue without the golem.
Yeah. All right, Dana, what do you got to say?
Oh no, I was just listening to what everybody was saying. Hello, everybody. Hello, Real. Hello, Baby Clay, Phil. It's nice to meet you finally.
Nice to meet you as well.
But Like we were saying before, I agree with you guys. I think this show is getting too bloated with questions. And I don't think one season's going to be enough time to tell this full story. Like it's just it. I feel like with every answer that we've been getting 50 more questions with this, and the questions are just growing and growing and growing, and nothing is coming to a real full conclusion per se. So it's just I'm very worried. I'm worried that one more season, 10 episodes, is not going to be enough to tell such a big story that From is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just think that. I don't want to call them this, and I hope, and I don't mean any offense, but I don't want them to be a one-trick pony, because it just seems like they're taking a lot from their previous things that they've done in other shows and combining them to make this show. And I would hope that they have learned their lessons. Listen, Harold, from the beginning, Harold said, I needed to know the end before I signed on for this show. And whatever they told him what the end was satisfying enough for him, because he's dealing with loss, that he said that it's good. But did he actually say to him, did they actually go and say, listen, we're going to have a boy in white and a man in yellow? And Harold didn't say, wait a second. A what? I mean, didn't I just leave a show that
Tony, they kind of answered that in an AMA. They said when they started out, all they really had was the Matthew. They probably presented him the Matthews and the sheriff situation and how that story ends. Everything else they've been kind of going as is. They said from the beginning, and they had the Jade thing too, but Jade was the
Asian
girl.
Yeah, Spring Break girl. But basically, so they probably presented him not fully fleshed out the mysticism of it, just the end point of where the sheriff's character goes.
Well, in the end, so they made up the Tabitha resurrection with Jade, because that wasn't, they weren't, unless they were going to pull that with the Asian girl.
Yeah, I was wondering about that myself, to be honest with you.
Yeah, how much of Jade's storyline got expanded because of the character he was with his company and all that stuff, or was that always going to be the plan with the Spring Break girl?
Well,
didn't they change Jade's character to begin with? Like, wasn't he supposed to be like a teenage girl?
Yeah, a spring girl coming off spring break
or something like that. Yeah, so then it makes sense that if they change that story, because unless they were going to bring somebody else in to be like a male counterpart to that version and still bring in reincarnation.
So you're going to have that Spring Break chick be Christopher?
Or do you
right? Like, weird.
Do you think they were going to do it with Boyd's character and have Boyd be Jade, essentially, be like the one that's connected to Tabitha?
I mean, they could have. I mean, it could have been anything, because right now this season was the season that Tabitha was supposed to come back from being pushed out the window, because they did that seasons earlier, and they said that this was the season that they were going to have her come back. So Acosta, Henry, and all this stuff should have came back this season. So all that ambulance stuff should have happened this season, one season ago.
Yeah, they brought her back too fast, and also, I thought the scene with them in there was corny when Jay was like, I wouldn't have wanted to spend all these different lifetimes with nobody else than you, or whatever he said.
It was a little Lifetime movie.
It was corny, yo.
He just met.
It was hella corny.
Real. That reminds me of something else I wanted to say. In the chase scene, unlike the other chase scenes they did, this one seemed very much like you were at like a theme park, like you were at Universal and Monster Night. And
that shit was like a hayride.
Yeah, totally like a hayride in a video game or something. That
shit was like a hayride. And you know what was so crazy about it? In the van, when Patty and them were in the van, and that monster was coming at them, I mean, he was fucking flailing his arms and fucking around and acting like and bouncing up against the van and everything. And we know that they could tear right through the van. But what was so crazy was when Ellis was driving the truck, they had a truck full of people in the back, and Smiles Davis just walked past them and was just like, hi. You know, he didn't try to get anybody that was open wide right there in the back of the truck. And I was like, yo.
He's like, been acting weird since he got resurrected.
Like if the monsters can't be killed, right? And they can't hurt the monsters, then wouldn't it make sense for like the monsters just to jump on the floor and make like a big fucking speed bump? So that when they drove over it, they fucking fucked up their whole fucking wheels, and now the shit don't work. Like, why not just have them all just lay down on the floor and do a speed bump, and then when they hit
that
speed
shit
bump,
would be hilarious too.
I mean, if you want to make it different than what they're doing, that's what you do. You make it different. You have the monsters all laid down in front of the shit because they ain't worried about getting hurt. Make a big ass speed bump like they're going through a Walmart parking lot. They fucking bottom out. Now they got to get the shit and fucking run.
Like, why haven't we seen anybody hit one of the monsters with the car? Like any of that kind of stuff. Like, I don't know.
Really.
I don't.
You remember? You remember the speed bumps down in Providence, right?
Say what? Say what you say?
You remember the speed bumps out in Providence, right?
Oh my God, the speed bumps out in Providence to tear your whole bottom of your car out.
Yeah, the monsters need to do that.
Yeah.
Well, did anybody find it like really crazy that they decided to try to kill a monster again with the totems, and like Fatima's just kind of like walking around like, okay, like I was like, oh, Fatima just gave birth to one of them, and Boyd and everybody's ready to run out and go try to like kill them again. Were they thinking that this was going to be different? I hated that whole scene.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, because how
like everybody was just okay with it.
Yeah, I guess like because what you're saying is like, damn, somebody else would have ended up getting pregnant,
right? Like, if that worked, are we just gonna then like look around at all the ladies and just wait to see who's
something I pointed out in like a couple of videos, and I've been scratching my head ever since last season about this. You know, there was a pregnant woman at Fatima's year anniversary party at Colony House when they had the party and where Dale got punched in the mouth by Donna and all that shit. There was a pregnant woman in there. And then you could see her real good when she's getting off of the bus and going into the post office. Like they're helping her get off the they're helping her get out of the van and walk into the post office and everything. There was already a pregnant woman on the show, and they just kind of acted like Fatima's pregnancy was just like this unique thing. They even got baby seats at the diner and shit. So it kind of implies that they had like babies in this place before. But the pregnant woman, the whole Fatima giving birth to Smiles Davis shit and becoming a monster because of that is kind of corny. I'm just gonna be real because
I agree.
She was already pregnant when if all they had to do was have Christy say, wait a minute, you mean you gave birth to that thing, but you were already pregnant when Boyd killed that thing. And then that was all they had to do. And everybody would have been like, okay, so it did something to her pregnancy. And then it could even say that she sacrificed that pregnancy and she sacrificed a child, and that's how she became a monster.
I just want to point this out. I'm gonna run it back to maybe these creators might be doing something from what they did earlier. That's what happened in Lost. In Lost, for whatever reason, no babies could be born, and then one day a baby was born.
Claire.
I'm saying one trick pony. One trick pony. It keeps sounding like the right term to describe this show. And I hate to say again, I love the show. I do not. I want the show to succeed. I want it to be the greatest season of all time. This next season, I want it to be amazing. I want these actors who this could be their last big break of the show, and this is the last big thing that happens in their career to really go out on top because of it. I want them all to have a great time. I look forward to it being good, but I think they have a lot of work to do in front of them, and hopefully they're up for the task. And hopefully we get what we're looking for.
Yeah, no, I really want this show to be good, man. I stopped watching television entirely like 20 years ago, and this show brought me back. So I'm really hoping it was worth my time.
20 years if you ain't watched TV.
I mean, I love this show.
I got the internet, Tony.
My channel. Like this show.
What show cast you off TV for 20 years?
I would say it, but chat would roast me.
What show pissed you off enough to quit TV?
I gotta hear
you have to answer the fucking
I gotta
question.
know what show fucked you off.
It was Lost.
Dude.
What? Oh my god.
And
you
Lost
and
made you quit TV.
I'm gonna roll.
Guy.
It's a beautiful show, man.
I was so mad. I was so mad about
You're dating the same girl again. The girl broke your fucking heart.
No, I know, man.
So that means when we're about 80, baby, that he's gonna come back.
Come back. No, I got some money on Severance, and I think Severance will be really good. So Severance might save it. Severance might save TV for me.
Yeah,
and Widow's Bay's pretty good too.
Apple TV is the second best network for television shows. It's HBO is still number one, but Apple TV is right behind them. It's right there. It's catching up. But Apple TV,
they got budget, man.
They got budget for days, but they cancel shows without giving a show a chance to breathe. And that's the problem. Like they should have gave The Changing a chance to breathe. Like that, they had the potential for that show to be good. They should have gave Constellation a chance to breathe. They had a potential with that show, and they need, Netflix is known for doing that too. Again, with fucking what is that show, Phil?
Which
you
one?
know what I'm talking about on Netflix.
The OA,
Mindhunters.
Mindhunters. Like there was no reason to cancel fucking Mindhunters, man.
Netflix posted the Tick live action, and that was some good stuff.
Santa Clarita Diet canceled. Glow was another amazing one that had a season. They actually approved the final season, then canceled it during COVID.
Because Santa Clarita Diet got canceled?
Santa Clarita Diet got canceled.
That was a good show.
Great fucking show, dude. Great fucking show. Funny as shit.
Yeah, Drew Barrymore is funny as hell on that.
Yeah, and the dude too. I don't know the actor's name, but he's really fucking funny in it too. And it's a good example of like taking the zombie thing and putting a funny spin to it, kind of like Zombie. A couple of other series have done that.
Yeah, that's the problem. So I would just hopefully that these places give show. I mean, they're gonna give Severance a chance because of the director Ben Stiller. So they're not gonna give him a chance no matter what.
He's got to finish the Knicks documentary first, and then he can get back to Severance.
You know what I mean? But hopefully that I hope the best for this show. I really do. I really wanted to go out with a really big bang. I want to go out before we get out of here. I've talked to people about the con and told them all about the con and everything else. And I told them that they asking me where to pre-order these tickets. Do you have any update on that?
Yes, we will have something in the next 2 days. It was just the point of the ticket spice thing that we were going to use. Wouldn't really work well for this, but we will have a different platform to do that on. I'd say if not tomorrow, the very next day.
All right. So in a couple of days, we'll be able to give y'all the exact place to go to pre-order tickets. Again, please pre-order. The pre-orders are really going to determine what type of con we could do, how big we can go with it. It's really going to determine that whole situation. So make sure you do pre-order and everything else, and so we can get this thing popping in Nashville at the Gaylord Opry Hotel. It'll be an amazing situation. We'll have a great time there and everything else and all that good stuff and everything. Unfortunately, the Don has to go because I have to work in the morning. And everything. And I apologize, Dana Maria. You just got here. I promise you that I will do another stream and have you on so you can be on for a much longer time.
You're sweet. You're sweet.
I see Scarlett jump in. She didn't jump in and stuff, so we'll have Scarlett jump on here too. Be back in a couple of days. Just give me a couple of days and stuff like that. I'm off on the weekend because I get off on Friday because the holiday falls on a Saturday, so I get off on Friday. So maybe Friday night I'll be able to do something. I'll try to be. And anyone who's trying to contact me, I've sent y'all links on YouTube for YouTube chat. I don't know if people realize that YouTube has a chat on there, but if any content creator wants to contact me, I sent people links. Just contact me on the YouTube one because I get notifications for that one. So I don't get notifications for the Facebook one. So just go to your YouTube chat and you probably have to resend it because I think it only lasts like an hour, a couple of like 24 hours and stuff, and it goes away.
It's like when you make the collab thing, you have to send somebody a link to click on it. Like
you
do that.
So
you can now do on YouTube, you can send like a collab link and it will say this video is all these different channels working on this one thing. You can do that too from the video.
Yeah, so you'll be able to hit me up. Just hit me up on that. It's easier for me that way and everything else and all that good stuff. Make sure you go over to the Jen, the teacher. Who's that? Is it on her or Real Cinema Theory?
Real Cinema Theory, probably.
Yeah, go on her channel. They're over there right now rocking and stuff. They'll keep you guys up for the remainder of the night and stuff. We will be back with more videos and everything else. And I'll drop a video sometime this week and all that good stuff. We still have a strong community. We were doing 500 when the show was out. We've dropped down to about 350, but that's still pretty strong. So we still got a lot of people up in here. So, you know, people are still interested. So we're going to continue doing this whole thing and everything else. And I'm going to go run and watch Real's new video. Go do that right now. Get that done. Real cinematic therapy.
Yo, thank you for having me, my brother. Yo, shout out to Dana Marie, my brother Soul Taker, my brother Everything Broke Down, baby Clay, Feel the Issues guy, Tony Teflon, the Don, and my man Taryn for coming through. Jen the teacher, the other lady that was here. Real, what is it? Real
they're over here. People in the chat is asking for goddamn the ladies are from community calendars they want. You made some money in this shit.
Oh, okay. Whoa.
There might be some money in this motherfucker. Now we might have to start talking about this motherfucker.
You can get that done at the con, I guess.
Yeah, we're doing. Yeah, because of the con, we'll get you. You know, reserve your ticket, and we'll get you a calendar. You know, come with the reserve of the ticket. We can run it that way.
Yeah, right.
We'll get you our pictures and stuff like that and all that good. All right, if you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, spread this across the round, and of course subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.
So, like, if Acosta had to create her perfect man, like an avatar, this